Todd qualified the 60. Jeffrey will drive it. He drops to the back. Rudd took a provisional. Bliss, Strickland, Craven, and Carl Long all went home a little early. I said this night is always special, and for us at ESPN, it is extra special. This is our last race here at Bristol, and what a run it's been. When it's over, we won't say goodbye, but we will say good night. And at the end, hopefully we can provide you with a finish as memorable as some of these.
Here comes Daryl out of the fourth corner, and Daryl Waltrip has one more lap to go. His advantage on Terry Labonte more than 8 seconds. He could coast home from here. He sets the car into turn number 3 on the high side of Mike Waltrip. Here they come off the fourth corner. It's Daryl Waltrip winning the Busch 500. Here comes the white flag for Daryl Waltrip. He has one more lap to go around the .533-mile high banks of Bristol International Raceway, and he will win his 5th victory of 1989 and his 11th here at Bristol. Off of corner number 4, Daryl Waltrip wins the Busch 500 at Bristol International Raceway. Here's Waltrip off of corner number 4, and the checkered flag waves. Daryl Waltrip has won the Bud 500 at Bristol.
Honey, it's me again in victory lane with the, for the kids, for Sarah, Caitlin, Kearns, Waltrip. One time, drove my heart out, baby doll. Drove my heart out. For you. Now wait, I'm close. For you.
Here comes the white flag. One lap to go for Mark Martin. There it is.
Rusty on the outside.
Tries to go to the outside in turn 1, but Mark blocks the way. Now Rusty will look high off of turn 2. They've got a half a lap to go. Wallace tries to make a move to the inside. He's going to make it to the outside. No, he can't do it there. It's going to be Mark Martin winning the Bud 500. Oh, Jeff Gordon spins after being hit by Jeff Bodine. Big crash on the backstretch. Gordon went in hard.
Oh, it stands. Rusty Wallace stands off of turn 4.
Just nudges the wall coming off the corner. Sends up a lot of smoke. Earnhardt is going to go to the rear of the line because of his, what NASCAR considered more than incidental contact with Rusty Wallace. The fans think that was the right decision by NASCAR.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, that's right. Off of corner 4, Terry Labonte gets the white flag, but still has this traffic to contend with. Now let's see, they're down to 4 or 5 car lengths.
And a slow car right around Earnhardt is not on his back bumper.
Let's see what strategy he pulls. No, Labonte is sideways, but wins the race, crashes, and he wins anyway. How about that?
I mean, the kid had a great run going. He gets out, and he's just so frustrated. He can't stand it. I mean, man, he was in the lead lap, and it's over with. Man, oh, man, why did this have to happen to me?
There's Gordon in second, Mark Martin in third. Rusty Wallace brings it off the fourth corner and wins the Goodies Headache Counter 500. Off the corner, Martin is there, but Jarrett wins by just a car length. Mark Martin wins the Goodies Headache Counter 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And so many more memories are just ahead. These guys have starred here in the past. Waltrip, the master of the Bristol Stomp. Earnhardt looking to repeat. Wallace and Gordon tonight start on the front row. Hey, one more thing I want to show you. The guy that paints the walls here, he left a message for us when we got here on Friday. I wanted to make sure he knew we got the message, so I got up extra early this morning, and I made my own sign for him and all the fans here at Bristol. Want to see it? Here it is. Simple, but it comes from the heart. Coming up next on NASCAR Today, Rusty Wallace, his words and his team. The two-bunch going for 2 in a row in their 4th win of the season. And later, with a little love and luck, you will get by BP's keys to Bristol.
Okay, DJ, I'm ready for you. What's the game?
I'll see Boomerang.
Boomerangs? I think I prefer football.
So what are you doing here?
I came here for the big juicy steaks. How about you?
I want that shrimp on the Barbie.
Ah, let's go eat.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse.
They're back.
Nice looking jacket. special edition?
Leather.
Name your price, man.
Your hat.
Some people will give anything, hey Jack, to own the special edition NASCAR 2000 jacket. But it's yours for just $169 when you buy any Exide Select battery. And you'll be helping the kids at Duke Children's Hospital.
Hey, Jack, where's your hat?
Look for details wherever Exide Select is sold.
Nice hat.
Thanks.
From the leader in ride control technology comes the latest in a long line of innovations. Introducing Monroe's revolutionary new Reflex Shock with impact sensor technology that reacts instantly, shifting between firm and soft compression in just 12 milliseconds. Combining superior comfort with a dramatic reduction in pitch and roll for maximum safety. Experience the new standard in comfort and control with the new Reflex Shock from Monroe.
Wallace, the year 2000 has been the kind of year any driver would envy. 3 wins, 7 poles, 5th in points. But for the competitor Rusty Wallace, 2000 may be remembered as the year the championship got away. Then last week, pit strategy finally paid off for the 2 teams. And now, with 2 wins in the last 4 races, Rusty returns to his favorite track, looking for a season sweep and a possible late season run at a second championship. Well, if you poll the other 42 drivers, the guy they would probably want to vote off this island is Rusty Wallace. That way they wouldn't have to worry about trying to beat him. Will it be Miller time at the end of this race, Rusty?
I hope so. We got a really good car. It ran super good in happy hour practice, and we got the pole, so morale's high, and we won last weekend, and I got to tell you, this is my favorite track. I love coming to Bristol.
The key to winning here, Rusty?
You got to have a great handling car, and track position is very, very important. So pit stops are going to be super important, and a great handling car.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Rusty leads him to the green flag.
Well, we need to hear from Dale Jarrett. 13 straight finishes of 9th or better, so you got a good run going, but tonight you start on the backstretch. How's it going to be?
It's going to be a challenge for sure, but that's what we have to work with, and we're going to make the most of it. Hopefully we've got a pretty good car that we can contend with, and then we'll just work with the pit situation the best that we can.
Is there a solution to making it a better deal for the people that pit on the back?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough here. You know, all we can do with what we have to work with here now is hope we get some green flag racing, that we've got a good car and get some people a lap down, and that way it won't put us too far back whenever we do have cautions and make pit stops then.
Okay, good luck tonight. Let's hear from the point leader. He's with Matt Yoakum.
And Ray, Bobby Labonte has finished 25th or worse in 4 of his last 5 Bristol starts. Bob, looking at the grid, you're starting 32nd. The key to tonight, survive, survive, survive.
Yeah, and you got to be in the right location. Location, like we talked about. And, you know, we finished 6th here in the spring, so got the same race car. You know, I think we're okay. You know, we're probably not as good as we want to be, but, you know, we'll make adjustments as we go. And, you know, starting 32nd, not the best place to be in, but that's the way we're going to start, and we'll just see where we end up.
Starting so far in the back and also pitting on the backstretch. 2 bad omens for you. Is it tougher to adjust on a car here because track position is so vital?
It really is. I mean, pitting on the backstretch might give us a little extra time before we get here if we have to make some adjustments. So it's just going to be tough. It's a typical Bristol race. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, you know, we don't want to get nothing tore up on the race car, and we just want to make sure we finish this race, and we want to run good. And I think we got everything going for us. We just got to make sure we're there at the end.
Well, good luck. He starts in the back, hoping to finish in the front tonight. Bill?
Thanks, Matt. Here are the top 10 in points. Bobby picked up 10 last week. Earnhardt is 126 behind Jarrett. Jeff Burton just 15 behind Earnhardt. Rusty believes he is still in the championship chase. Tonight could determine that. It's only 59 points from 6th place Tony Stewart to 9th place Mark Martin. Next on the Saturday night edition of NASCAR Today, when it comes to Bristol, would you rather be lucky or good? You had better be both. Benny is back to explain why, but first, we need to pit.
Get ready.
This world-class event is a winner. Toyota's 2000 clearance. Big selection of new Toyotas and big clearance values. Are you ready to go for it? Hurry and save on a gas-thrifty Corolla with great year-end clearance deals and savings up to $500. Get to this world-class clearance event now at your Toyota dealer.
You are an advertiser who needs to communicate a message. How will you capture your audience's attention? How do you stay competitive in today's market? It's simple, really. Advertise on cable. The television specialists at Comcast make it easy for businesses to advertise on the cable network. We target your advertising message efficiently and cost-effectively. Comcast Advertising Sales. Targeting with precision.
Special about football games at night. There's a certain je ne sais quoi. That's French.
It's more elegant, more poetic, more, dare I say, sexy.
It's a lifestyle. Yes, it is.
The Bills want to avenge the Music City Miracle as the Titans invade Rich Stadium. Right after NFL primetime at 7:30, it's the Titans versus the Bills at 8:30 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's football after dark.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It'll strike you as the toughest racing anywhere. The NASCAR Busch Series. More drivers compete. More drivers win. You never know what you'll see. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series. It's just the best racing in the world. Millions of fans can't be wrong. No matter which series you experience, one thing's for sure. This is the flat-out best racing on earth. This is NASCAR.
Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway here in Tennessee. 147,000 seats. That's 5,000 in the suites and 142,000 around the track. What a scene. The good news is they all came in one car, so it won't be hard getting out of here. Benny Parsons won this race back in 1973. If you watched it, it was in black and white. In fact, if you were here, it was in black and white. No, I'm just kidding. Time to bring in Benny and get BP's keys to the race. How about it, Benny?
Bill, that car was red. You remember because you were here. All right, number one key, luck. Number two, patience. And number three, the 2 in the rearview mirror. Folks, I'm not a big believer in luck. I think that's where preparation meets opportunity. But at Bristol, there is such a thing as luck. If something happens in front of you, you have trouble stopping, you get in the crash, that is bad luck. And we see more at Bristol than all the other racetracks combined.
Now, patience. You're talking about the ride back to the hotel, right?
No, Bill. I'm talking about following someone. Be impatient. You're a little bit faster than they are, but don't drive down to the inside and just say, I'm going on. You've got to be sure that guy realizes you're there and gives you some room. If he don't give you the room, there's going to be a crash, and you're probably going to be involved in it. Be patient.
Now, Rusty's on the pole, so right now, he's not in anybody's mirror.
No, and somehow, you've got to get in front of the 2 car. Rusty Wallace, right now, on these concrete racetracks, especially at Bristol, he is the king. So somehow get in front of the 2 car and look in the mirror and keep him back there somehow.
Okay, Benny, take a deep breath, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, Bill.
All right, now let's check in with Matt Yoakum.
And Dale Earnhardt getting some words from Kenny Bernstein, 2 kings of their sport, the king of speed and the king of the short tracks recently. Are you finding out some speed secrets, Dale?
Yeah, how to go fast straight, but I got a turn down here at the end. But we're just talking about Dale Jr. and he has got a chance to capitalize and make some rich fans this week from Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser. And, you know, this is a great place to do it, but it's a tough place to do it. I'm going to just try to keep myself out of trouble and go to the front where he's at.
He's looking to go to the front, Bill, but a host of other guys, too.
Well, here's one guy that's starting at the front. That'd be Jeff Gordon with his wife, Brooke, and car owner John Hendrick. And I've got your pit tonight, and I don't want to see you to the first scheduled round of pit stops, okay?
Yeah, that hasn't been the case here lately, so that's our plan. I mean, car has been extremely strong, and these guys are fired up. You know, we need a weekend to turn things around, and Bristol's a perfect place for us to do that.
4 wins in the spring, but never in the dark.
I know. You know, we've been close. We've had great race cars here before, but just never could get exactly a handle on what it takes to run well here at night. I hope we have it tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, he starts up front. Ricky Rudd starts in the back, and he's with Ray.
He sure does, Bill. But, Ricky, last fall, 35th to 3rd. Tonight you start 37th. Can you get all those cars past like you did last year?
Boy, it took us a long time to finally get there last race. You know, if we have some luck and missed wrecks, we got a pretty good race car. I'm not sure how we got ourselves dug in a hole here, but we're pretty racy. Got some good cars back here with me. The biggest thing is just patience, not only with me, but all these guys around us, and plenty of time to race. We just got to use our head.
Okay, good luck. He's 7th in the points, but doesn't have a victory yet in the year 2000.
Full night of racing here on ESPN. If you miss any of it, which you shouldn't, you can get the recap on RPM tonight, which is actually tomorrow morning. 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time, RPM tonight. If you don't see it, at least roll the VCR. Back to Bristol in a minute.
When I'm working on my car, I don't have time to fool around. Everything's got to perform, like these Scott shop towels. They're strong, sturdy, work like cloth at a fraction of the cost of these. You ever try to wipe up a mess with a greasy towel? With Scott shop towels, you just grab a fresh, clean towel for the tough, messy work. Anything that makes this job a little easier is a big relief. Scott shop towels, on a roll or in a box. The performance of cloth at a fraction of the cost.
The Home Depot continues to lower the cost of home improvement. The Wagner Power Painter is now just $79 every day at the Home Depot. It can draw paint or stain directly from the can. And yes, that's a 7 with a 9 after it. And if you need any other paint supplies, remember, the Home Depot is America's favorite paint store. So paint your doors, stain your deck, paint your best friend's house. There's never been a better time. The Home Depot, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
Barkley for 3! 27-year-old Steffi Graf, Wimbledon champion. Up the ice comes Lemieux. Lemieux dances and scores! 1 second on the clock. You really don't need a game plan when you've got a guy like Mario Lemieux.
Okay, DJ, I'm ready for you. What's the game?
I'll see boomerang.
Boomerangs? I think I prefer football.
So what are you doing here?
I came here for the big juicy steaks. How about you?
I want that shrimp on the barbie.
Ah, let's go eat.
They're back.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. These fans have been on their feet and cheering. It has been an emotional place for the last half hour, and it's just the beginning. There is a wealth of talent spread throughout the field. The job, get to the front. That's tough no matter where you start. It's even tougher when you have to start at the back in a backup car.
We got a good backup car. We'll get it as close as we can to what we had out here this week. We had a good, really good race car. Just lost it. You know, we're all human and we make mistakes, and I made a mistake going into one.
I think we're running pretty well. The car's working good. We've had a good weekend so far. We're looking forward to this race.
There's 2 primary goals tonight, and that's stay on the lead lap and don't wreck. And there's going to be a lot of cars tearing up sheet metal tonight, and we don't want to be one of them. We want to be out there on the lead lap all night long, and, you know, you make it to the first 300 laps of this race, you're in pretty good shape from there on out.
Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon seem to have found something here that a lot of guys haven't, so I'm still going to predict they're going to be the ones to beat, but I really feel that the car that we have right now is a car that's capable of running in the top 5, and the way these guys have been hitting off some pit stops, if they can get me out front in the late stages of the race, we're going to try our best to go out there and get our second win.
We struggled pretty bad yesterday, and I think we got fortunate with the weather, fortunate that we got on the racetrack not too long after the few raindrops had cooled the track down a little bit, and we was fortunate. We got a good starting spot, and hopefully we can stay up there now.
And one driver who certainly knows about surviving on the short tracks, Terry Labonte. Last year, Terry, everybody knows about the finish. Tonight, you start 23rd, trying to pick up your 3rd. You've got 2.5 Bristol wins, I take it.
I'll tell you what, I hope our car runs good enough tonight to get in a position to win. And, you know, we weren't quite as good in half hour as I'd hoped for, but, hey, it's a long night. We'll just work on it during the race there. Pitting on the back straightaway sure is going to be a little disadvantage for us, but we'll try to get a good run and hopefully have a good finish here.
Well, good luck tonight. He starts 23rd, just missed the front stretch by 2 spots, Bill.
Next Sunday, it's our Labor Day Marathon, the Southern 500 at Darlington. A pre-race preview and a revealing conversation with Jeff Burton on NASCAR Today at a special time, 11:30 next Sunday morning, and we'll be over on ESPN 2. Back to Bristol after this.
Just getting by isn't enough.
I want to succeed. That means doing more, being smarter, performing at my best. It's a demanding life, and it uses up nutrients. New Centrum Performance helps replace them.
It starts as a complete Centrum Multi. Then we add energy essential nutrients, including increased levels of key B vitamins, antioxidants, plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
As technology grows and changes ever more rapidly, it's good to know there's one company whose leadership you can depend on in communications, computers, and semiconductors. Because NEC excels in multiple technologies, they can show you a broader perspective and bring you innovative solutions. It's one reason NEC has grown to be one of the 2 strongest producers of new U.S. patents. NEC, at the center of innovation.
People do some strange things to cars. That's why there's Carfax. We'll give you the real history of any used car, and that could save you thousands. Visit your dealer or go to Carfax.com.
The Northern Light Cup is up for grabs as 8 drivers are within striking distance of first place. Who will claim the checkered flag in the IRL's inaugural race at Kentucky Speedway? The Kentucky Indy 300, tomorrow at 2:30 on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway. The children from Motor Racing Outreach have just performed the national anthem here. Always fun here at Bristol to watch that. Now let's check down pit road. I believe Ray's hanging out with Tony Stewart.
Well, Bill, he's 6th in points, and he starts 6th tonight. Tony, you've raced a lot of different cars at a lot of different tracks. How do you describe what's about to happen here at Bristol?
The easiest way I can describe it, it's 43 cars in a blender and hit Purify. So, you know, there's 43 of us running around here in the mid-15-second bracket, so it's fast all night.
A little bit of trouble at Michigan, finishing 41st there. You lost a little bit in the points, but you've had a dominant car here at Bristol. That's got to give you some inspiration.
Well, we're starting to get into a swing of races and race tracks that, you know, the Home Depot team likes and I like. So, you know, we just got to try to do what we did last year and try to get that consistency back and see if we can, you know, kind of get up there and get a couple more spots in the points before the end of the year.
Okay, 3 wins already this year. This guy could be trouble in the second half of the season.
And the super sub, David Green, putting on his flame retardant heel protectors. How about it tonight, David? Starting 26, filling in for Bill Elliott.
It's exciting, Matt. You know, you got to thank Bill for giving me this opportunity. I can't say enough about the team, the car, awesome car Bill tested here a couple weeks ago, and it's really unfortunate he's not be able to here to ride this fast McDonald's Ford Taurus. But we hope to just do him a good job, stay out of trouble, you know, get back in the swing of things here. And again, a great car. I can't say enough about it. This weekend's been a lot of fun.
Well, it could be an advantage tonight because he ran last night in the Busch race. Ray?
You know, whenever I look around at Bristol, I think of a lot of things, but one thing is anger. We may see that tonight. There's awful lot of times where there's beating and banging goes on here, and the drivers lose their temper. But one thing that adds to it, 140,000 fans rooting them on. Bill?
And it's amazing. They are all here. Most of them have been here since early this afternoon. They find their seats. They find the souvenirs. They put on their T-shirts and their caps, and then they wait for the sun to go down and the excitement to go here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. This is it. The final moments before the night race at Bristol. You just look at this place. It's already loud, and the engines haven't even fired. The excitement is building. The sun is setting, and soon the sparks will be flying, because this is a night where sometimes temper overwhelms talent. I hope you brought the cooler into the TV room, because you won't want to go to the kitchen. The magic and the memories that make Bristol famous are about to begin. We hope you enjoy it. We certainly have. We'll miss this trip, but we're going to enjoy the next 500 laps here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The GoRacing.com 500 is next on ESPN. Remember, don't miss the last half mile. Rusty Wallace, an 8-time winner here, and Jeff Gordon, a 4-time winner here, share the front row. Rusty has seen the sparks at night. Gordon has only seen victory lane in the spring. We'll see what happens tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more racing information, be sure to log on to ESPN.com. RPM tonight has the post-race report at 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Coming up next here on ESPN, it's the Goracing.com 500 from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Our crew thanks you for tuning in. Now, sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
The year was 1961 when the gates first swung open for NASCAR racing at this tiny bullet-shaped bull ring in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Tennessee. Over the next 4 decades, this Battle of Bristol would become an American motorsports phenomenon. 43 of the world's best stock car drivers are forced to survive 500 laps inside this half-mile high-bank concrete cage. Like animals, these confined athletes scratch and claw for every inch, lap after lap. It's common to see the cars smoke and the drivers fume. And when all is said and done, as little as the width of a bumper can separate the vanquished from the victorious. All this and more in front of thousands of flag-waving, finger-pointing, fired-up race fans. Yes, this is Bristol. Where better than here to exemplify the adage, if you build it, they will come. From Bismarck to Boca, Bangor to Biloxi. Tonight, these legions of loyal fans have assembled under the lights here in Bristol, Tennessee. With a record crowd estimated at close to 160,000, we welcome you live to Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway for the 40th running of the Goracing.com 500. With 12 events remaining in the race for the Winston Cup, the points remain tied at the top. Bobby Labonte holds an 111-point advantage over Dale Jarrett, and it is so close down the line, each of the next top 10 spots could change pending tonight's outcome. Speaking of tonight, let's hear about the front row. Here's Bill Weber.
Well, just in case you thought the night race at Bristol couldn't get any more dramatic, take a look at this front row. It's got 2 heroes with a very colorful history. Finally, people are talking about the races Rusty Wallace has won instead of the races he didn't win. He outmuscled the field at Michigan, but it's Bristol where Rusty really shines. He kicked butt here in the spring, and he has 8 career victories here. Jeff Gordon has been in so many fender benders in the last 3 weeks, his insurance agent dropped him. But the attitude here has been bend, don't break. Gordon's Chevy is as shiny as ever, and so is his spirit. He's a 2-time winner this season and a 4-time winner at this track. But Gordon has never won here at night. In this race, he hopes to leave everyone in the dark. All fans know when it comes to Bristol, you never miss the last lap. With these 2 on the front row, don't miss the first one.
Sometimes a good defense is the best offense. That's what championship contenders Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett have to be thinking tonight, because they start from the back of the pack. That alone almost doubles their chances of getting knocked into the wall. So the goals tonight are simple. Stay out of trouble. Stay on the lead lap. Get as good a finish as possible, and then start looking forward to Darlington. But achieving those goals won't be as easy as it sounds, because they pit on the backstretch tonight. Right, Ray Dunlap?
Well, that's true, John. Tonight is the 80th Winston Cup race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But this is the only track on the schedule where there are still 2 distinct pit roads. And tonight there's a lot of good cars back here, but they are at a disadvantage. I guarantee you this, folks. Tonight I'll be covering pit road back here, and there'll be a lot of drivers making their way to the front on the racetrack. But when it comes to pit stops, they'll probably lose positions. Jerry?
Thank you very much, Ray. Hello, everyone. I am Jerry Punch, along with former Winston Cup champions and former Bristol winners Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett. And guys, although there are still 12 events remaining in the season, the points leader Bobby Labonte knows he must survive this one tonight, much as Dale Jarrett tried to do a year ago.
Yeah, DJ came in here with a 300-point lead last year. Bobby Labonte only has a little over a 100-point lead, and DJ lost 100 points in this race last year. And the reason it's so easy to do, you put 43 cars on a half-mile racetrack going around here in about 16 seconds. Anything can happen, and it happens so quick here that sometimes you can't get out of the way. Many times you get caught up in someone else's problem.
And we've told you, these are 43 of the best stock car racers in the world. And usually this doesn't happen. One of these guys loses control by themselves. But folks, this is Bristol. And here at Bristol, anything can happen, and usually does on this one tough racetrack, especially at night.
Well, no doubt Bristol Motor Speedway is one of America's premier show places, and tonight it is filled to capacity as 160,000 fans are poised and ready for a Saturday night short track fight under the lights. We get set for 500 laps on a half-mile, 3-story high concrete cage we call Bristol Motor Speedway. As ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents NASCAR. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Walmart starting grid and wave the green flag here at Thunder Valley. Stay with us.
I'm a childcare director. In the summer, I drive buses and vans. We have a blast on these field trips. It's just as much fun for me as it is for them. Parents are entrusting me with the safety of their children. We have to make sure we keep great tires on the van. We trust Walmart to service our vehicle. They have name brand tires and they have great prices and a guarantee nationwide. That's one reason we bought them.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
Nice looking jacket.
Special edition.
Leather. Name your price, man.
Your hat.
Some people will give anything,
hey Jack,
to own the special edition NASCAR 2000 jacket. But it's yours for just $169 when you buy any Exide Select battery. And you'll be helping the kids at Duke Children's Hospital.
Hey Jack, where's your hat?
Look for details wherever Exide Select is sold.
Nice hat. Thanks.
Here at Kawasaki, I want to take a moment to recognize the risk takers. Those who live on the edge. Those brave souls who buy another brand of ATV.
Unit 1, we got him.
Now that takes guts. Don't settle for anything less than the comfort, reliability, and engineering of a Kawasaki ATV.
Sometimes you just got to get it done, no matter what. You can plan all you want, but you still got deadlines. Sometimes you need extra equipment. I'll tell you who saved my neck a time or two. Nation's Rent. They got what I want. They get it to me when I need it. It's newer, and it works. I can count on these guys.
Nation's Rent carries on-equipped Textron, Snorkel, Low, SkyTrack, and SCATTRAck.
They get it done for me.
Nation's Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
The founder, president, CEO of Action Performance, our grand master tonight, Mr. Fred Wagenhals. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Command has been given, and 43 of the world's best stock car drivers are set to go to war for 500 laps here at Bristol. Our live ESPN coverage of exciting NASCAR Winston Cup action from Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by brand name tires, oil changes, and more at your neighborhood Walmart Tire and Lube Express. By Kawasaki all-terrain vehicles, call 1-800-661-RIDE for the dealer nearest you. And by Nation's Rent. For construction rental equipment, call 1-800-NO-SWEAT. Take a look at this half-mile facility we've been telling you about. Its unique characteristics, 36-degree bankings. The front and back straightaways equal just a little over a half-mile, 0.533s. The straightaways are banked at 16 degrees. That 36 degrees, Daytona's 31 and Talladega's 33, folks. This is a half-mile track at 36 degrees. Take a look at our Walmart Tire and Lube Express starting grid. And Rusty Wallace, for the 12th time, will start on the front row in Bristol, Tennessee, his 8th Bud Pole of the year, alongside Jeff Gordon, a 4-time winner, but never under the lights. Back in row 2, the man who holds the track record here, Steve Park, set back in spring, and Mike Skinner looking for his first win in his 134th start in Winston Cup. Back in row 3, Jerry Nathan will go to the back of the field in a backup car. Had a problem at about 1 o'clock today in practice. And Tony Stewart, well, he was the pole sitter here last August and led the most laps. Back in row 4, Mark Martin on the inside, a 2-time winner, but it's been a while. He was the last guy to win here from the pole back in '93. And Sterling Marlin, it's been 4 years since his last win at Daytona back in '96. And back in row 5, Robert Presley, his best qualifying effort of the year for the Jasper Ford. Inside of row 5, and Kevin LePage, for the 4th time this year, will start in the top 10.
Back in the 6th row, Elliott Sadler and Dale Earnhardt Jr. In row 7, Robbie Gordon, great qualifying run, and Brett Bodine, who also has to go to the back of the pack. In row 8, Kenny Schrader and Ward Burton. Row 9 this afternoon, Dale Earnhardt and Jeremy Mayfield. In row 10, Michael Waltrip and Bobby Hamilton.
And in row 11, we find Stacy Compton, who also will, that car will go to the rear. Bobby Hillen will be driving it, and Matt Kinson. Terry Labonte and Kenny Wallace make up row 12. Row 13 is Kyle Petty and David Green in the Bill Elliott car. Row 14 is Daryl Waltrip and John Andretti. Row 15, Johnny Benson and Dave Blaney.
All right, Dale Jarrett in row 16. There are the 2-point guys. Jarrett and Bobby Labonte. Labonte the point leader, and Jarrett second in points. Back in row 17, Scott Pruitt making his very first start here at Bristol. Didn't make the field in the spring. And front row Joe Nemechek. Jeff Burton back inside row 18. And Jeffrey Bodine, Todd Bodine qualified the car. Jeffrey will start him, but has to go to the back of the field because of the driver change. Ricky Rudd still looking for that win number 1 here in the year 2000, coming off his career best finish of the season, I should say, at Michigan last week. And Chad Little outside row 19. Back in row 20, Jimmy Spencer. 3 of his last 4 events have been top 10 runs. This team really coming together. Takes a provisional here. And Ted Musgrave in the Bell South 01 Chevy Monte Carlo. Wally Dallenbach at the back of the pack with a provisional Ford, and Rick Mast driving for A.J. Foyt. His career began right here 13 years ago, and 59-year-old Dave Marcus in the Realtree Chevrolet. Those that missed the field, Mike Bliss, Hut Strickland, Carl Long, and Ricky Craven. Those 4 going in second round qualifying. No one made it in second round qualifying here today. There are a number of cars that will drop to the back of the field. We mentioned Bobby Hillen will be driving the car number 9 for Stacy Compton. Brett Bodine, should say Jeffrey Bodine in the 60 car, and 3 cars involved in an incident. Brett Bodine, Jerry Nadeau, and Michael Waltrip all going to backup cars, and they are going to the back of the field. That's why you see those cars moving to the back as we get set for a start here at Bristol, Tennessee. Glad to have you with us. Single file to the first 4 spots, but it is Tony Stewart and Mark Martin who are dicing for 5th position off of turn 2.
Stewart hung up there for a pretty good bit, but decided that's not the place to be. The bottom groove is usually the best one, at least in the first part of the race here at Bristol.
Now the 9th and 10th place starters back there also still side by side. Robert Presley and Kevin LePage, Benny, still running door to door.
Those guys will give about $200 to someone if you just let them into the bottom of the racetrack early on. These tires are cold, everything is fresh. You do not want to be on the outside.
There's Dale Earnhardt on the inside of Tim Schrader. Schrader in the car number 36, the yellow car. Hanging pretty good up there on that outside.
It's a battle for the 15th position.
In happy hour earlier today, Earnhardt quit very, very early, which is a bad sign for the competition. When he's that happy early in happy hour, watch out.
Bobby Hamilton going by Schrader. Now Schrader goes up the racetrack, and Kenny Wallace trying to squeeze on the inside. But Kenny Wallace was patient. That's what you need to be, patient, especially these early laps.
Yeah, he might need a break himself sometime a little bit later on, so we gave Kenny Schrader a break there.
Jerry Earnhardt on the inside of Robbie Gordon, taking a spot away, moves him up to the 14th position. He started back in 17th.
Remember, he won here a year ago in this race from 26 spots. The farthest anyone has come from in the field to win at Bristol. In fact, he had been the previous farthest back at 24th back in 1993.
There's the lead car, Rusty Wallace. You see how low he keeps it on this racetrack, right down on the bottom now. That's what you have to do in the early going, but I expect we'll see Rusty down there all night long because he sets his car up to run there.
Interestingly enough, both the lead 2 cars, the front 2 cars that qualify were brand new cars. Rusty brought a new Ford, and Jeff Gordon brought a brand new Chevrolet. Figuring that you just, whoa, there's a little bit of contact. That's typical Bristol. Rick Mast and Wally Dallenbach.
There'll be very few cars that come out here tonight that don't have some stars on it somewhere.
Brett Bodine on the inside of Rick Mast.
lost a little bit of his momentum when Wallace back got tangled there, and Brett had a good run on him. Brett had a good qualifying run here, and unfortunately got caught up in that wreck earlier today with Michael Waltrip and Jerry Maybe.
And they pulled this car out of the backup. It's the car he ran at Michigan last Sunday on the 2-mile super speedway.
Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, ran so well at Michigan last week. Back in the pack, and the 01 car is Ted Musgrave. They're running 32nd and 33rd. Jeff Burton right in front of them, trying to get on the inside of Chad Little. Looking back from Jeff Burton's X-side Ford as they go inside of Chad Little, as you heard Benny say a moment ago. Ricky Rudd never won here in 45 starts. They're looking for win number 1 here in the 2000 season.
And Ricky Rudd is one of the most patient drivers that you will find in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. It's a surprise that he hasn't won here at Bristol, because as Benny says that patience is a key virtue here at Bristol.
And he's finished second 4 times. Has been there a lot of times, but hasn't been able to just quite get to the front there on that final lap.
Well, here's the man that's in front is Rusty Wallace.
Rusty Wallace with a new event qualifying record. He and Jeff Gordon started 1-2. They remain 1-2. After 15 laps, it is Wallace Gordon at the front. Back in a moment.
Endless Summer RV, the only family-owned and operated RV dealership in the area, invites you to visit our expanded showroom. Come in and see our enormous selection of new and used RVs. While you're here, take a walk through our newly remodeled parts and accessory store. We've also added service and free delivery bays for you, our customers. So stop by and visit with our friendly staff. Ask them questions. Many of them enjoy the outdoors just like you. We're located just 5 miles north of Frederick on Route 15. Camping families, serving families that camp.
When you need a new driveway or a driveway repaved, call Henson Paving, your local leader in paving. You've ridden on their work, you just might not have known it. Henson Paving can resurface your existing driveway or build one from the dirt up. All driveways are installed with the same care and attention to quality that we give our biggest contract jobs. When you need paving, think Henson Paving. When you need a driveway, there's only one place to call, Henson Paving. Look for us in the white pages. Henson Paving, making things go smoothly for over 30 years.
Thursday. It's a Thursday night doubleheader, kicking off at 8 on ESPN.
Auburn has a newfound strength, and it's in the air. Quarterback Ben Laird to wide receiver Ronnie Daniels.
Then at 10 on ESPN2.
San Diego State's head coach Ted Tolman. He's an excellent football coach. They're a good team.
Tune in Thursday on ESPN when College Football Tonight begins at 7:30, followed by Wyoming versus Auburn at 8. Then at 10 on ESPN2, Arizona State versus San Diego State.
Don't ask me, man. I couldn't tell you.
You never know.
We don't know.
I have no idea.
Who knows? I give up. Don't ask me. Hey, you never know.
Doesn't matter who you ask. You just never know who's going to win in the NASCAR Busch Series. It's the most exciting, most competitive racing on 4 wheels. The NASCAR Busch Series. This is NASCAR.
You might as well just throw all the names in a hat and pick one.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, the GoRacing.com presented 500, presented by SkyTel. Rusty Wallace has been leading, and as you can see, this year he's led quite a bit on the short track.
But right now, Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet, seems to be closing in just a little bit on Rusty Wallace.
And they're closing in on the back of the field, too, Benny. They'll start lapping cars here very shortly. When you put 43 cars on a half-a-mile track, it doesn't take long for the leaders to catch up with those in the back.
John Andretti moving to the inside of Robbie Gordon, who had a great qualifying run. Qualified 13th, struggling here early on in this one. John Andretti going back to a car he ran here in 1999 when he had a good top 5 finish from the backstretch. Here's a good battle.
Ricky Rudd trying to move around Joe Nemechek.
Oh, and Nemechek gets the car up high and gets extremely loose off turn 2, wiggled, which allowed Rudd to get the momentum on the inside, take the spot away.
Ricky Rudd moving from 37th starting spot to 31st. He'll make that 30th, so he's gained 7 spots here in 28 laps. Now lap traffic for the leaders. Rusty Wallace goes beneath. And
in trouble here in turn 2.
You're cool, you're cool.
Steve Park.
Caution
Burton
is out.
On lap 28, we have the first caution flag of the night. Steve Park spinning up across the racetrack in turn 2. And Ward Burton spinning as Park came down across.
And Dave Marcus, what a tough break for Marcus. He just was lapped the previous lap. Now he is a lap down, the only car a lap down.
And I expect, Benny, if that happened while the leaders were coming off of turn 4, that if they would have had time, they'd probably slow down and let him get back on the lead lap, but they didn't have time. The caution just thrown right on him.
Now the question, just this early in the race, how many are going to pit?
Some at the back might.
You got to wonder about track position. Leaders stay out, of course. Trying to see what happened here a moment ago. There's the 22 car. The Husqvarna roof camera trying to avoid it.
And there's Park already in progress. Don't know what might have caused that. Couldn't tell if there was contact or Park just lost control. And so far, no one. Well, Ward Burton has made a pit stop.
Yeah, he's probably concerned about his tires being flat-spotted. Let's go to the pits and John Kernan.
Ward Burton's crew putting on 4 fresh tires. Tommy Baldwin telling them to go. They also made a major track bar adjustment. And also the number 9 car with Bobby Hillen Jr. is in, and also Michael Waltrip and Brett Bodine. Nothing to lose. They're pitting here on the front stretch. They figured might as well come on in and get on 4 tires.
And Jerry Nadeau also on and off pit road. Remember, he had gone to a backup car. They went to a car they ran at Darlington early in the year. Working caution for the first time tonight, coming out on lap 28. Back in a moment.
You drive the way you drive. That's just the way it is. And that's fine. Because there's a new motor oil made to take it. Introducing new Pennzoil Synthetic with Penzane. Penzane was developed for the space program and is used by NASA. Don't change your driving. Just change your oil. Pennzoil Synthetic. It's rocket science for your car.
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Pennzoil Clean Engine Formula at Pep Boys.
Marky, right side rubber.
Once Winn-Dixie race car driver Mark Martin puts the hammer down, it's pretty hard to get him to stop.
Mark, you're low on fuel. What's up, Jack? Now, dang it, listen up.
I can't believe you guys are doing this to me.
Trying to keep you hungry, man.
10 more laps.
WD brand steak from the beef people. Please join us in saluting Mark Martin in his Busch Series farewell tour.
Guess you're going to have to stay hungry.
Fred is great. He always wants to play. Just look at him go. He's got so much energy, but he sure can work up quite a thirst. That's why I give him Budweiser. It's made with only the choicest hops and barley, and it's got a clean, crisp taste that he loves. I wouldn't give him anything less.
You recognize this? Sure you do. It's $1. You want to know why George Washington looks so ticked off? It's because he remembers when a buck was worth something. Nowadays, you're lucky if you can buy a pair of used socks at a garage sale for under $1. Well, cheer up, Georgie boy. At least you can get all your long-distance calls for only 99 cents.
That's right. Just dial 1010-220, and all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. No fees, no switching. So if you want to talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, just dial 1010-220 first.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, the restart on lap 34 after the caution was out for 4 laps, and an anxious moment as it restarted. Michael Waltrip's car did not want to come up to speed. The car stalled coming off the banks, but it has now refired and rejoined the field.
But he's a lap down, Jerry.
John Kernan, what happened with Michael?
Jerry, I just talked to his crew chief, Bobby Kennedy. He said that the ignition box, the primary ignition box, went out as he was on the backstretch. So Michael had to stop, switch to the secondary ignition box, and the engine refired for him.
Wow, tough break for Michael Waltrip. They'd already gone to a backup car when he was victimized by a couple of cars spinning at about 1 o'clock today. He simply was trying to mind his own business and got damage on his primary car. Now they go to a backup car. Now loses the lamp because of an ignition glitch.
And the 21 car, Elliott Sadler, gets on the inside of Kevin LePage, the 16 car, trying to take that spot away. A battle for the 8th position. And Steve Park, he did not pit, so he's still in the 10th spot. He's front up there in the corner, but he got to start going quickly and only lost 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah, there are still 41 cars on the lead lap. Only Michael Waltrip and Dave Marcus, who had just gotten lapped when the caution came out a moment ago. Those are the only 2 cars that are not on the lead lap.
Kevin LePage hanging pretty good up there now. He's got himself an opening and gets back in behind Elliott Sadler.
Check in the pits with Ray Dunlap. Ray?
Jerry, a very good real chance that Bobby Labonte is going to have to pit here under green. He believes he may have a right rear tire going down. The car has been very, very tight since this restart. He has lost 7 positions, so there's a chance they may have to pit under green.
Wow. Well, that would be terrible if he had to do that.
Well, we mentioned that Bobby Labonte has finished 25th or worse in 4 of his last 5 visits here, including a 26th and 25th, the last 2 night events. And we told you, sometimes this place can bite you. And right now, Bobby Labonte is hoping and praying it is not a tire going down.
He's trying to get back on the inside now.
Bobby Hamilton, the 4 car, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, gets on the inside of LePage. Kevin LePage is trying to run the top of the racetrack. I guess that's where the car feels good. It's allowing other cars to get position on the inside, and he's lost 4 or 5 spots. He's look at the car. He just goes in and he shoots right to the top of the car.
And Terry Labonte moves around Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield in car number 12, blue and white cars.
Texan Terry, of course, taking 2 events off. That streak of 655 consecutive starts came to an end in Indianapolis because of a concussion. He missed Indy, he missed Watkins Glen, and back last week at Michigan.
Battle for the 3rd spot, Tony Stewart. The battle of the hammers and saws. Stewart takes over that 3rd spot. Mike Skinner now 4th.
And here's Kevin LePage still going up the hill as it goes into the turns, and Kenny Schrader on the inside of it. Terry Labonte still continuing to march towards the front. Trying to take over in the 14th position now.
Terry started back in 23rd spot in the Kellogg Chevrolet. When Terry missed those 2 events, he told the crew, I have got to get back from Bristol. I want to be back from Bristol. I've been waiting a year to get back to this racetrack. He loves coming here. And he is making his way toward the front now, trying to get in the 13th spot.
Robbie Gordon, the 13 car, has fallen back to the 22nd spot. And
Crashed in 1 here. Stay high. Stay high.
And it looks like Brett Bodine and
the 93
Dave
car,
Blaney.
Blaney.
Wow, Blaney's car is really banged up.
Second caution flag of the night coming out on lap 50. Heavy, heavy damage to the Amoco Pontiac of Dave Blaney. Brett Bodine gets his car refired, and the whole back of Blaney's car basically just crunched in.
Dave, I think you're, well, he did get to move forward. It's hard to say he was fighting a losing battle, but it's amazing how those things will roll off sometimes as bad as they go.
Fire cell almost pushed down beneath the back of the car. He will come on the pit road as we work caution for the 2nd time tonight here in just 50 laps.
I would expect now we'll probably see some pit stops. See if we can figure out what might have happened to Blaney up in the corner. Bobby Labonte on board cam, the Circuit City on board, and I don't know, there's some heavy traffic up there. Whether or not there was contact or not, no way to know.
There were a lot of cars running close together in that package there, and it's very possible that they did. And here come all the cars down pit road.
Leaders on pit road, 35 miles an hour as they head down. Rusty Wallace, followed by Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Rusty Wallace had the pole. He also has the best spot on pit road. Easy out. They will go down half a round on the track bars. You see the triple pits around to the left side on the 2. They made an air pressure adjustment on Gordon's car. His car is off just slightly. Rusty's waiting on the left rear. He's away in a hurry. The 24 will follow him out. To the 31 and the 20, we go to the back pits to Ray.
Labonte said his right front tire had slid. It's why he thought the left or the right rear was going down. This will be a 4-tire change. They will make a track bar adjustment and a wedge adjustment. Dale Jarrett says his car's pretty good. They make a track bar adjustment there. We see the changes going on for the 18. Right here, left side tires going on. A lot of action back here on the pits, and Bobby Labonte will not gain any spots this time on the backstretch. John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt was in. He said they talked about taking the rubber out of one of the springs, but Kevin Amler's crew chief decided not to make that move now. Earnhardt said the car is pretty good, so they just took on 4 tires, no air pressure adjustments, no chassis adjustments for last year's winner of this race.
Wow, pit action is ongoing here as we are under caution for the second time tonight. A big break, a huge break for Bobby Labonte, who thought he had a tire going down against the pit under the caution. Be right back.
NASCAR Passing by Team Monte Carlo.
Come on, man, go, go, go. You're never going to get by anybody from this car behind us. Go. The big hell on the right. Let's go, go, go. Blah, blah, blah. What you say? I guess my 7 NASCAR championships are clogging up my ears, huh? Now, here, there's 2 ways to do this. There's my way and the wrong way.
Want to be like the Earnhardts?
Drive the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Heat is holding position when your tires are ready to blow. Heat is making it through a 12-car pileup from 13th place. Heat is the last 5 laps of Daytona 500.
If you want the heat of the last 5 laps all the time, if you want the heat of door-to-door, fender-to-fender action, if you want the heat of Daytona, if you want the game designed by the pros,
you want NASCAR Heat, the only game that brings the heat home.
NASCAR Heat for PlayStation Game Console and PC CD-ROM, rated E for everyone.
Conseco, NASCAR's official financial services provider. Step up.
Briefcase.
Need new tires? Our 70,000-mile Futuras are 4 for $169. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
Hey, Tim. Does this look like a hex nut to you?
Need expert advice? All-wheel alignment now just $34.88. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, restart a half a lap ago on lap 57. Ward Burton did not pit. Neither did Daryl Waltrip or Bobby Hillin, driving in relief of Stacy Compton. Those 3 cars that pitted earlier tonight. Ward Burton pitted on lap 30 after the first caution flag. Daryl Waltrip making his 52nd and final start in his home state of Tennessee. The winningest driver in this racetrack's history at 12 Winston Cup victories, trying to hang on the second spot, and Bobby Hillin makes the move beneath him.
Bobby Hillin, the 9 car, the Kodiak car, the Cougar car. The last time he had fresh tires, he pitted on lap 30. He drove away from Rusty Wallace, but now Rusty has tires better than Bobby Hillin. He might be able to pass him, but it looks like that 9 car might be pretty good tonight.
That's just an indication of how good fresh tires are.
We might mention, we might mention Stacy Compton broke his right collarbone on Tuesday this week playing racquetball. That's why he's having to sit out. As you see Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon go by, and they've got Bobby Hillin in the car. Ward Burton now pulling away a little bit. Let's check in his pits with John Kernan.
Jerry Ward did not pit this last time. He pitted on the first caution at lap 30 because the car was tied in, loose off. So crew chief Tommy Baldwin had the crew go up 4 rounds on the track bar. Well, that cleared up the tied in, loose off problem. So the problem is now it's a little bit tight coming off the turn. But he is now out in front and hoping that he can stay out there. They did this for track position. Now to Bill Weber. Rusty Wallace has been slightly loose since the start of the race, so on that pit stop they made a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment to tighten him up just a tick. Jeff Gordon has been just a tick tight since the beginning of the race. He's tight on new tires. They keep hoping the car will come to him. That's what happened in happy hours, still because they got to pit. They made an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment. As for Mike Skinner, just slightly tight, half pound of air pressure in the left rear, 4 tires and fuel. We go to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, we talked about how much work it'll be from the backstretch. Dale Jarrett came in running 21st, had a good pit stop, made a little bit of an adjustment, got out in 15.3, and he went back on the racetrack in 27. A big disadvantage packing back here. Jerry?
All right, we'll watch these teammates. As you watch Jeff Gordon now going beneath the car number 22 of Ward Burton. Ward Burton's last top 5 finish came here when he finished 3rd back in March of this year. You heard John Kernan say they made a major chassis adjustment on Ward Burton's Caterpillar Pontiac on that first pit stop on lap 30. But guys, those fresh tires tell the tale.
They really do. Fresh tires on most racetracks make a big difference, but particularly here at Bristol. Now, Ward Burton's car, I watched him in happy hour this afternoon. I thought he had one of the best race cars here, but it was warm this afternoon, and it cooled off here at night, so a little bit of a difference in the chassis setup.
Tony Stewart now trying to go back beyond the inside of Mike Skinner for position. That'd be for the 4th spot. They've been swapping that back and forth. Now Skinner will get a bit of a challenge from Mark Martin back in 6th position.
Tony Stewart passed Mike Skinner just before. You know, Mike Skinner looked in the mirror and saw Mark Martin and said, I remember Indy. I remember what I did to Mark Martin. By mistake, I didn't mean to. I'm not going to hold him up. He just moved over and lets Mark and Sterling Marlin go.
And there's a big hole behind him. He can afford to do that, not get caught up on the outside. A lot of patience from there.
Here's 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Dale Earnhardt Sr. is 8th. This is the battle for 9th spot between Robert Presley, the 77 car, and the Mobile 1 car of Jeremy Mayfield. Right behind them is Steve Park, and that is for position.
Jerry Nadeau up to the 12th position. It looks like his backup car is working pretty good. Oh, some contact, and Presley goes up the racetrack. And you know that's going to happen if you those cars back there and they follow you 2 or 3 laps and they're faster. Expect the bumper.
Bobby Hamilton now trying to make a move beneath Robert Presley. Presley running more the mid to high side of the racetrack, Ned.
And I guess that's the way he set his race car up, but I got a feeling that maybe it's just pushing up a little bit. Here's that bump again as Jeremy Mayfield pulls up on him, and right there gives him a little bit of a tap, and Robert has to back off the gas to get that thing back under control.
Robert Presley had his best qualifying run of the year, starting 9th tonight in the Jasper Engines and Transmissions Ford. Now backsliding, though.
Whoops. They have to get another bump there when he slid coming off the turn. So that car is not handling the way that he'd like for it to handle.
About to lose the 14th position, the Elliott Sadler. Sadler is 15th, Earnhardt Jr. there in 16th spot.
And this makes mention, we saw Daryl Waltrip up there in 2nd place on the restart here. He has dropped all the way back to 28th position. Got caught up on the high side. However, he does not have as fresh tires as most of the others, and that's really uncomfortable.
Got a 9-car Bobby Hill, and he's now moved back to the 22nd position. And Daryl's gone back to the... Where's Daryl now? He's back to 33rd. So, yeah, those huge tires. Just 20 laps on the tires. You would think that's only 10 miles, but 10 hard miles around the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Some more contact. Earnhardt Jr. making a move inside of Robert Presley, and now Kenny Strader will try to follow by. And as you said, then Presley's car just not handling at all, going way up across the racetrack in the turn.
Yeah, every time he goes into the turn, it's just going high. And whether it's loose and he's chasing it up there, or whether the front end's just not cutting it, it could be easy. Boy, when you open that door, move up that racetrack, and leave a half a groove down there, somebody's going to dive under it. Jeff Burton is making some progress. He had a good pit stop, and he's moving up through the pack. He's up in 22nd position now, trying to take over 21st from Matt Kenseth.
There's Dale Jarrett in the car number 88. Started back in 31st position, second in the points, came into the night 111 points back, and DJ being shown now in 26th position.
The points leader, Bobby Labonte, we saw him just flash by there, the Interstate Battery Fund Yankee is currently running in 31st spot.
Well, Dave Blaney had a short night and heavy contact over the wall. He's standing by with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, they finished 35th here in the spring, and Dave, I know some bad luck when it comes to concrete racing.
I don't know if luck had much to do with it. Just didn't know anybody was there. Just had a little bit inside of me, and I come down, and man, that's the worst thing happens here if you aren't careful, and it got us tonight.
Now these guys are working on this car, but it looks right now like the 93 car will finish 43rd.
Tough night for Dave Blaney and the Amoco folks. Heavy damage to the back of his car. Rusty Wallace, the guy they're chasing, he was the pole sitter. He is an 8-time winner at Bristol Motor Speedway. He won it here in the spring, and Rusty Wallace is the guy they're having to chase tonight. Flawless thus far after 84 laps of 500 are complete. Back with more in just a moment.
When it comes to cars, you need a dealership you can trust. We're Wintrode Buick Chevy Olds. We've been around since 1936, and just like you, we have a family and an understanding of values that can't be compromised. We've been selling and servicing cars with the same level of pride and courtesy since the beginning. So the next time you're looking to buy a new car or your current one needs servicing, stop by and see us at Wintrode Buick Chevy Olds, where you're always welcome.
Duralube Advanced Engine Treatment is uniquely formulated and designed to protect your car's engine. Sure, Duralube Advanced Engine Treatment has its imitators. Hey, we're even flattered by it. Remember, the car you choose is your business. The way it runs is ours. Duralube Advanced Engine Treatment. Imitated, but never duplicated. Duralube, available at these and other fine stores everywhere.
Hi. As Chris Bertman, host of NFL Primetime, I have an obligation to treat all the day's games with equal importance, to break down all the day's highlights with equal vigor, and to never stage a game in an airplane hangar in New Mexico and pawn it off as authentic, you know, like the government did with the moon landing.
NFL Primetime, Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, and just a second ago, Daryl Waltrip's Kmart Ford slid up across the racetrack and had contact with the concrete. So the winningest driver in Bristol Motor Speedway history, making his final stop here on his home track in Bristol, has a tough beginning. He's just trying to get the car down off the banking. Doesn't look to be that heavily damaged, though. Some sheet metal in the left rear, possibly.
Yeah, it's still rolling pretty good, but there is some damage, as you said, on the left rear there, Sherry. We'll be headed to the pits here pretty shortly.
Let's see if we can see what might have happened to DW going down the corner. There we see Mark Martin's on the inside, about to pass, I guess put a lap on DW. Go down the corner. I guess DW didn't realize he was there. He comes down, they make contact. And Daryl backs the fence, and Mark continues on.
A little bit different angle this time, looking down at Daryl Waltrip, left side of your screen. It doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't. Just a little bit of a tap going into the turn, and that's what got the left rear damage to his car. It got into the wall.
And Ward Burton is on pit road in front of you, John.
Ward Burton's off sequence with the other leaders, Rusty Wallace, who Jeff Gordon knows. So they decided to come on in, take on 4 tires. The car's still a little bit too tight off the turn, so they made a wedge adjustment. A very good pit stop for Ward Burton.
Tommy Baldwin and company getting the Caterpillar car on and off pit road. They pitted on lap 30, now here on lap 92. They're the only, well, Bobby Hillen actually was in, and Kevin LePage. And Bobby Labonte, our points leader, is in front of you, Ray Dunlap.
Car's still a little bit tight, Jerry, so they're going to keep their eye on the pace car here. They want to change 4 tires, but they may do just right sides, go back out, and then come back. No, they have time, so they decide to go for 4. Bobby Labonte saying not sure what to do to the car. Jeff Burton is down and away as they went down about a half a pound of air pressure on both right rears. Bobby Labonte now down and back to action.
And it looked like they may have held the 77 car of Robert Presley, who was in the pits a moment ago. The NASCAR official stood in front of him. Now they're talking to the crew down on pit road. You got to wonder if they were holding him. Was he outside his pit box?
I don't know. Here's our crew cam on the 9 car. Jason Pulver, the tire changer. Mark Smith goes to the tire carrier, throws the tire on there. Jason powers it up. Oh, he can only change right sides because the pace car was up in 3 and 4. Couldn't take a chance on getting going a lap down.
And he has come back in since then and did change the left side tires.
Bill Weber, what happened to Robert Presley?
You're right on, Jerry. He did pit outside of his pit box and was held by NASCAR. We saw this last night. This never should have happened to Presley. There were only 2 cars on pit road. Under caution here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So far, it's been the Rusty Wallace show. Gordon second, Stewart third. Back in a moment.
Thousands of race fans braving the heat here to watch NASCAR's best try to conquer this track. And here comes our field.
Bobby Labonte showing the way into the final lap before the green. Tough luck early on for Jeff Burton with the Intimidator haunting his rear view mirror.
Everyone on their feet as the field enters turn 4 stacked at double wide. And our pace car finds pit road.
Down goes the throttle. Down goes the green flag. And this is what race day is all about, folks.
Kyle Petty nudging Ricky Rudd, giving us some early action.
Number 40.
Polaris has sold more automatic ATVs than everyone else combined. And to celebrate building their 1 millionth automatic, they're giving $1 million to someone who buys a new Polaris ATV this year. It could be you. The Polaris millionth automatic $1 million giveaway. The chase is on. See your Polaris dealer for contest details.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, getting set for the green flag after the 3rd caution flag of the evening when Daryl Waltrip spun on lap 91.
Green flag, green flag.
That kind of sums it up. Green flag. Rusty Wallace has led 83 of the 96 laps so far. It's been the Rusty show here at Bristol, Tennessee. Rusty, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, the top 4.
Burton and Dale Jarrett get together going into turn 1. So 75 car has spun. And caution flag is out.
Well, caution coming out for the 4th time tonight, now on lap 98. Somewhat of a replay of what happened to Dale Jarrett a year ago. He was involved in a spin about lap 80. This time he's able to spin and continue on his way. 75 car involved, spinning to try to avoid the 2. Let's show you what happened just a moment ago up between turns 1 and 2.
Ward Burton has on fresh tires. He came into the pits, remember, and has head down into turn 1. And let's see, looks like, well, I don't know if there's any contact or not. It was really hard to tell, but neither of them hit anything.
Jeff Burton goes down below on the inside of the apron to miss those 2. And right behind where these 2 spun is where Wally Dallenbach spun a moment ago to avoid this. Now Jeff Burton's onboard camera.
And there we see both those cars go. Oh, man. It looks like Jeff had his brother just nailed. But he turned her left. Ward Burton. I guess Ward got hit from the back by Kevin LePage.
So apparently the 88 spun. Ward checks up, gets hit from behind by LePage. He spins, and then Jeff Burton goes below him, and then Dallenbach spins to avoid him. So maybe DJ just got in the corner, and the car just cocked sideways on him.
Hard to say.
Well, they pitted just about 9 laps ago, so I doubt we'll see any pit stops here as we work caution for the 4th time tonight. We approach the 100-lap mark here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Exciting NASCAR Winston Cup action.
Whether you drive your family around the neighborhood or the number 21 Citgo Taurus around the NASCAR circuit, you make a lot of pit stops along the way. So from Darlington to Detroit, Bristol to Boston, and just about every place in between, you can count on your local Citgo to keep you going. Gas, food, and conversation. Just what you'd expect from a neighbor.
this on me?
Hit next lap. Hit next lap? Hit next lap. Are you sure? I'm positive.
What's going on, guys? Stay out or pit.
Pit. No pit.
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 No pit. Pit. No pit, baby. Pit. Don't pit.
From the driver's seat to the pits, to anywhere NASCAR fans might be, Motorola technology is bringing the action closer to everyone.
No pit over.
From the leader in ride control technology comes the latest in a long line of innovations. Introducing Monroe's revolutionary new Reflex Shock with impact sensor technology that reacts instantly, shifting between firm and soft compression in just 12 milliseconds. Combining superior comfort with a dramatic reduction in pitch and roll for maximum safety. Experience the new standard in comfort and control with the new Reflex Shock from Monroe.
The King brothers, separated at birth. George King went to a family that subscribed to fishing magazines. James's family subscribed to the Wall Street Journal. 28 years later, George lived with his parents, while his brother James started a B2B web company and went public with a record first-day pop. Food for thought, especially since you can get 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just 57 cents a day. That's 25% off the regular rate. Call 800-313-1600. That's 800-313-1600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Sunday Night Baseball presented by Gum Out. The Cleveland Indians taking on the Anaheim Angels. Anaheim's Darren Erstad has 193 hits. He needs 64 more to tie George Sisler's 1920 all-time record. Coverage begins with Baseball Tonight, presented by Pep Boys at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Set for the restart at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And Dale Jarrett did hit the number 88 Ford Quality Care car, and the team put on 4 tires, so he'll be good to go. Heavy traffic off turn 2 as the 77 car was beside the 71 for just a second. They were 3 wide. Now he's almost making contact with a 4 car.
Several cars that were a lap down had pulled up there. There are 35 cars still on the lead lap.
Jr. in the car number, Bobby Hamilton Sr., I should say, in the Kodak car, the Chevrolet number 4, nearby Abingdon, Virginia, the Morgan McClure team, being shown in 10th position. He was very good in happy hour, Ned, and had thoughts of maybe getting a top 5 or better finish tonight.
Yes, he was good in happy hour, and I'm sure that they came over here and tested since this is so close to their headquarters, and look for him to have a good night. So far, he is.
Eddie battle for 11th spot.
Two of the young guns in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, the 21 car of Elliott Sadler and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, the Bud car.
Elliott Sadler was so good here in the spring race. He was the fastest car in happy hour. On the very second lap of the race, he got tagged from behind and spun and finished 41st, I believe, in the spring, but likes this racetrack. Has won here in a Busch car. Like to get a top 10 finish or better tonight for the Wood brothers.
Wood brothers seem to have always had a good setup for this racetrack. A lot of drivers have run well in their cars.
And I think it's important that drivers like the racetrack to have success on it. And look at Brett Bodine, the 11th car. Now, he is a lap down, but folks, he is going somewhere. Goes by Bobby Hamilton in that 4 car.
Looked like the 4 car was going somewhere, too. They got very high in the turn.
Bobby Hamilton started back in 20th position, now being shown in 10th spot. The 9th place car is not the 11 car, but the 12 car right in front of the 11. As there comes Jeremy Mayfield right toward you. As Rodney Wise, the NASCAR flagman, gives the move over flag.
And look at the 11 car just go by right by Jeremy Mayfield. I guess Jeremy saw that faster car coming and said, "Look the other way." Oh, Jeremy looks like he's got the problem because Hamilton goes by with ease.
And a reminder, the 11 car, Brett Bodine, he had qualified 14th for the primary car, involved in an incident that was not of his doing this morning, had to go to a backup car, and this is the car they ran at Michigan on a 2-mile super speedway last Sunday. Well, thus far, it's been all Rusty Wallace. There's the differential. As a battle for second spot, well, not much of a battle.
Boy, Gordon's car pushed up just a little bit, and he saw that 20 coming. He just let it go. He didn't fight it, which was a smart thing to do.
I guess everyone in the grandstand were just sitting there waiting and remembering Watkins Glen said, what's going to happen when these two guys get together?
and Michigan.
Nothing happened.
Nothing. Yes, Gordon says, go on by. Here's a couple of guys battling. A little bit of a damage on the car number 16 of Kevin LePage. He goes by Robbie Gordon. Gordon getting a challenge now from this car, the X-side Ford of Jeff Burton.
Battle for the 17th position. A hard plus onboard camera.
And he goes by Robbie Gordon. And he rubs as he goes by. And here comes David Green in that 94 car.
He's looking for a hole, but Gordon plugged that hole.
Whoops. Whoa, Robbie Gordon here. Let's check in his pits with John Kernan. John?
Jerry, tonight Robbie Gordon is going to school on the short track. He told me that Rusty Wallace helped advise him on staying on the bottom of the racetrack and also gave a little shop advice that enabled Robbie to qualify in the 13th position. But Robbie says, hey, you got to look at it this way. I've only run maybe 500 laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway. He said guys like, well, Earnhardt, for instance, he's probably made 26,000 laps. He says, I'm learning, trying to stay on the bottom tonight, but the car just not right for Robbie. But he is doing a pretty good job considering his lack of experience here.
And they are looking for a full sponsorship for next year. We're talking about Robbie Gordon now. He gets a move to the inside. David Green subbing for the injured Bill Elliott. We might mention to the fans, Elliott did have surgery Tuesday night at about 9 o'clock Birmingham time. Whoa, contact there. Elliott is actually here watching the race tonight, but did not get in the car. Had a fractured left kneecap, had 3 pins put in it, had a wire cage put in it. He will not be in the car this week and take it day by day as we head to Darlington next weekend.
And that was an accident at home, not in a race car.
Carrying a bag of fertilizer, he fell and on concrete with that left knee.
And you see Robbie Gordon, he has hit the wall. That contact that he made just a moment ago, he hit the wall pretty hard to the right side. There see Musgrave come off the corner. The 94 of David Green comes up, and there is the contact. And the right front wheel sits out there right against that wall. He's got to be coming. Here he comes into the pit area. Tough race.
Whole right side of that car pancake. Down to you, John Kernan.
And there's a lot of damage to Robbie's car as the crew goes to work on the right side. He just told his crew that someone had put him up in the wall. Not really happy about it. He said there's a lot of damage on the right side. Obviously, I cannot see that, but I can see some sheet metal damage also on the left side. The engine not running, so Robbie Gordon sitting on pit road as the crew comes around to the left side. He refires the engine, tires going on, and Robbie not too happy right now. Timber's flaring just a little bit because now they're going to get the string out and check the tow on the car. So Robbie shuts the engine back off. No sense in going out there as an inexperienced driver with less than a perfect race car.
And a problem for the car number 12 of Jeremy Mayfield, slowing on the racetrack. Dave Marcus almost gets into the back of Mayfield as he will try to get the car to pit road. It's tough to even get down as traffic goes by. He is hung on the outside.
There are cars almost everywhere all the way around the racetrack. Now he finally gets, it started down in front of Jeff Gordon, but that didn't work.
The right front tire is just completely flat on Jeremy Mayfield's car. There we see it beating the fender off the car, but he can't get down.
Oh, man.
Mayfield coming back to Michigan last week after 2 weeks off, and now what a tough break for Mayfield.
And there are pieces of rubber flying everywhere. Don't know if any of it's in the roof or not.
Now the Mobile 1-4 will come down. The Peter Suspenzo and the crew, the Penske Kranifus crew. Jams on the brakes, and they go to work on the right side of Jeremy Mayfield's car. Let's go down the Ray.
Well, Jerry, most of the Victory Lane interviews that have been done at Bristol have had you in them. Most of the time we're talking to you over there, but tonight you're behind the wall. How bad's your race car?
It's hurt. Knocked the left A-frame all in and bent the tower for the A-frame. We're not I don't know if we'll go back out or not. I doubt if we will. I don't want to get out there and ride around. I had a pretty good car, but we were a little loose at the time. I guess somebody got into me, spun me out, but that's Bristol. When you come here, that's just what you expect. You hope. I've been so lucky here for so many years. I guess I'm overdrawn in the luck bank, but I'm happy.
12 victories at this racetrack. What's your fondest memory?
Not in here. Over there in Victory Circle. I don't know.
always be 7 in a row. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. The victory tour ends early tonight for Daryl Waltrip here at Bristol.
Very emotional, and prior to the race now, they put him in a convertible, and he went around this place, and 160,000 fans stood and cheered and waved. They remember what he has done for this sport and always will. A 12-time winner, DW, calls it quits, possibly his final trip to Bristol Motor Speedway.
Tony Stewart right now is going up high on the racetrack. He thinks that Rusty may stay behind that 9 car, that he might get a run on the outside and take the lead away from Rusty Wallace. The 9 car.
Just sort of diming these turns, going in low and up in the center. As Bobby Gillen tries to hang on to the lead lap, he's in 32nd position.
Tony sitting there watching and waiting. A moment ago, he had a fender up inside of Rusty, backed off when they were working some more race traffic. Rusty being very cautious, trying to get around Bobby Hillen in the car number 9.
Ah, here Tony's got a run, does he? Nope, can't get down there.
Now, Tony Stewart led the most laps here last August, led 225 of 500 laps, ended up fading and finishing 5th. As you watch this battle, let's check in once again in the pits where John Kernan is caught up with Robbie Gordon.
Robbie Gordon is climbed from his car. Robbie, you're okay, but a little help getting out there in the wall.
Very disappointed in David Green. I mean, you know, I gave him the inside line nice and clean. Just didn't give me room on the exit. I guess you can't be nice around here.
You told me earlier about the lack of experience here, only about 500 laps here. Can't get the experience on the sideline, but did you learn a lot while you were out there tonight?
Yeah, we had a pretty good race car. We just wanted to survive, and, you know, I don't feel I did anything wrong. I let the guy have a nice clean line on the inside, just runs me in the wall on the exit. We owe him one.
Robbie Gordon's thoughts as the crew pushes the car back toward the haulers.
Bobby Gordon, that team trying to get a sponsor for next year. 2 top 10s in his last 3 outings at Sears Point and Watkins Glen, but a tough one here tonight. That's the separation between Rusty Wallace and Tony Stewart. Rusty has dominated the first portion of this event, 128 laps. He has led of 140. He was our pole sitter. His 8th Bud Pole of the year. He is an 8-time winner at Bristol Motor Speedway, and he's showing the way after 141 laps are complete. Back in a moment.
Sometimes you just got to get it done, no matter what. You can plan all you want, but you still got deadlines. Sometimes you need extra equipment. I'll tell you who saved my neck a time or two. Nation's Rent. They got what I want. They get it to me when I need it. It's newer, and it works. I can count on these guys.
Nation's Rent carries on equipped Textron, Snorkel, Low, SkyTrack, and SCATTRAC.
They get it done for me.
Nation's Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
You've got to come to Sonic to try the homemade taste of a banana, coconut, or new chocolate cream pie shake. All swirled with bits of graham cracker crust and topped with real whipped cream. Pair one now with a Sonic burger for a special low price. Sonic, your summer flavor place.
For everyone who'd rather do it themselves, we make the rugged, dependable Wagner Power Painter with power, control, and versatility like never before. If it needs painting, staining, or sealing, the choice is easy. Get a Wagner and get it done.
You worry about your car lasting? Imagine going 500 miles in one stretch at 200 miles an hour. That gets out the life right out of your car. That's why my team has always used Havoline Motor Oil, the same unique formulation you can get for your car. That's the kind of protection I'm talking about. Why aren't you guys working?
Buy 12 quarts of Havoline Motor Oil and get a free U.S. soccer cap. Hurry, it's a kick. Only from Havoline.
Aloha, sports fans. You're looking live at the Garage Invitational as Stoney steps to the green.
Swing!
Oh!
It's a nice swing there, Alice.
Yeah, does your husband play?
Consolation prize. Thank you so much.
I'm going to shoot lefty, guys.
But you can't hit right.
Oh, this will be funny.
Come on, Mrs. Groundskeeper's going to be coming home, so we got to get out of here.
All right. Easy, guys.
Give me the club.
Rain delay. Ice House style. Because sometimes all you need is a smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House. Enjoy.
The Northern Light Cup is up for grabs as 8 drivers are within striking distance of first place. Who will claim the checkered flag in the IRL's inaugural race at Kentucky Speedway? The Kentucky Indy 300, tomorrow at 2:30 on ESPN.
Tomorrow,
The AL wildcard race heats up. Tomei, Fryman, and the Indians. Vaughn, Erstad, and the Angels. The road trip rolls on. Indians, Angels, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Back at Bristol, Tennessee, an emotional night for 53-year-old Daryl Waltrip. Gets a hug from his wife, Stevie. Tears in his eyes. His final stop here at Bristol, Tennessee. And just moments ago, this happened.
Off turn 2, Rusty Wallace gets the car just a little bit loose. Man, that was close. He decides, look, Tony Stewart has pushed me pretty hard, faster than I want to go, so Tony, go ahead, take the lead. And Tony did.
Tony Stewart, the new leader, the third car to have led tonight, joining Rusty Wallace and Ward Burton as leaders here.
And Ward Burton, one of the leaders, now a lap down.
Well, we saw that Jeremy Mayfield had a tire problem. John Kernan, more about that?
Jerry, it was the right front tire that went flat on Jeremy Mayfield. Here's a look at it. He was out there so long it actually ripped the thread off of it. Now, usually at this racetrack, the first thing you think is that maybe a valve stem got knocked off. But you can see both valve stems right there. Not a problem there. Peter Suspinzo, his crew chief, isn't quite sure what happened. He thinks he may have run over something out on the racetrack, punctured the tire, and then it came apart as he stayed out there. But one good thing, they have an inner liner, an inside tire in this race car. You can see right here that held up, that allowed Jeremy to stay out on the racetrack. It kept him from having problems and going into the wall.
Kept him from ripping that right front fender off, John, and then he was trying to get back. There's parts of the debris. That's down out of the groove, by the way, as the cars are flashing by at speeds, but that's down on the inside. Back up front, Tony Stewart now begins to work on the rear of the 44 car of Kyle Petty. The final time that Kyle Petty will drive the Hot Wheels Pontiac before turning over the reins next week at Darlington for the remainder of the year to Steve Grissom, and Kyle will go full-time for the 45 to Sprint Chevrolet in the NASCAR Busch Series.
He's in 27th position, so now there are 26 cars on the lead lap.
There's our points leader, Benny. Not been that eventful a night thus far for Bobby Labonte, trying to hold his position. He wanted to survive a night. Right now, he's just trying to hang on.
And right now, he's running the 18th spot, so he's doing a good job. He's spinning on the back stretch, as Ray Dunlap has told you. That is a disadvantage, so looks like he's got a pretty decent race car. You see, he started in 32nd spot. He was 25th. Then he went back to 34th after the pit stop, and now he's worked his way back up to 18th.
One car.
Now the guy second in points, just a couple of spots back, was the 88 car. Back in 20th position, there is DJ. After that spin a little bit ago, he restarted back in 34th position. Has now come all the way back to 20th spot. So this has been a pretty good racetrack for Dale Jarrett, with the exception of this race a year ago where he finished 38th, in the spring where he finished 21st. But the previous events, he's had top 5 finishes, including a win with this car here 3 years ago. $111 points in separation between Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett. 12 races remaining, 11 after tonight for the championship.
Here's a car that has been running so well all night long. Sterling Marlin, remember here in the spring, he won the NASCAR Busch Series race on Saturday, but right now he is in 4th spot and looks to be gaining on Jeff Gordon. He's only 2.5 seconds behind the leader, Tony Stewart. And Dale Earnhardt has got by Mark Martin. He's moved in to that 5th spot. There's the 94 car, David Green. He now is a lap down. Ooh, Mark got his car a little loose as he exited turn 4.
Well, how many times have you seen that car jump in the throttle and the car just jerks sideways coming off the corner?
Especially after they've run this long on a set of tires. Those tires get heated up and worn, a little grease and oil on the racetrack, and boy, when you mash that gas, you better have that thing pointed in the right direction. It is hard to keep that back end from jumping out from under you.
Well, what about Mark Martin, Bill Weber?
Well, Jerry, Mark has the same problem that Jeff Gordon has been having. The cars are tight. They want to make an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment when Martin picks. But the 6th car, Martin Gordon, is tight on the racetrack.
Thank you very much, Bill. As you said, that these guys are going to love to be able to get in and get some fresh tires on and make those adjustments to the cars. He was riding along with Rusty Wallace and his Miller Lite onboard camera.
And something is up with Rusty Wallace because Kyle Petty, the 44 car, just passed him. And look at Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin right on his back bumper.
Now, this is the longest green flag run that we've had here tonight.
Our Jimmy Dean onboard telemetry shows you the speed of Rusty Wallace. If you look out his bumper cam toward Jeff Gordon.
Watch, he goes down the backstretch.
Now, we understand that he hasn't said anything on the radio about any problem.
And now he looks like he's getting away from Jeff Gordon a little bit. I don't know what might have happened.
Rusty pitted on lap. Now he goes back past Kyle Petty in the Hot Wheels Pontiac. Rusty pitted on lap 51, so we're looking at about 120 laps they have on these tires.
Yeah, and he might have hit a little slick spot or something, and the car slipped with him. He said, oh, man, I got a tire going down. And he felt it out for a couple of laps, gets his rhythm back now, and back up to full speed.
And Tony Stewart, by virtue of the fact that Rusty may have backed off just a moment ago for whatever reason, is pulling away. There's a look at the Home Depot Pontiac. Bright orange and white colors for Joe Gibbs Racing and Tony Stewart. And take a look at the on-track interval continuing to grow.
2 seconds. It goes from 1 second to 2. And Rusty Wallace at 1 lap had a couple laps at 17.6. As Ricky Rudd goes by the 16 car of Kevin Page, moves into the 17th position.
Ricky Rudd started back in 37. Sorry, Ned.
Apparently the handle's gone away a little bit on the 16 car of Kevin LePage. Now DJ moves to the inside to take the position, but he can't make that work.
If you watch this battle, we'll tell you there are 25 cars still on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is Wally Dallenbach in the car number 75. Both these cars, as you see, battling for position for 18th. You watch from high above, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil Copter Cam. Flying high above this Rose Bowl of racetracks, Bristol Motor Speedway. Half-mile high bank facility rimmed with 142,000 seats, and every one of them is full of a race fan watching what's happening all around.
Mike Skinner, the Lowe's Home Improvement Chevrolet, the 31, he has been struggling the last 30, 40 laps. We saw him up 3rd, 4th, 5th earlier on. He now has fallen back to the 15th position and getting some pretty heavy heat from Ricky Rudd for that spot. 16th position. And make that 17th as Rudd goes by.
As I say, this has been the longest green flag run that we've had, and those that have a chassis problem, it'll begin to show up.
And Sterling Marlin has gotten by Jeff Gordon, taking over the spot, moves into 3rd at Earnhardt, and Mark Martin now closes up on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, like some of the other leaders, getting a fade a little bit here at about 125 laps on these tires. Showed you a moment ago, Sterling Marlin, who has a very good race car, watch him make the pass.
Comes off turn 4, gets that great run, gets on the inside. Jeff Gordon's spotter warns him, then car on the inside. He goes up the racetrack, and it's that simple if you do it right.
Battle here. Dale Jarrett, defending Winston Cup champion, tries to get to the inside, just backs off a little bit, doesn't want to clip Mike Skinner. Now he has a little more room as Skinner goes high, and they are still door to door.
Well, Skinner's car is really washing out in these turns and going up very high. But it's difficult for those down on the inside now, more difficult to pass because their tires are worn too. Here comes Matt Kenseth on the inside of Skinner trying to make the pass.
Benny, I get the idea if we get a caution, you will not have to beg these guys to come in for tires.
Oh, no. Well, all of you are begging for...
Now, this is the final car on the lead lap, the red cell Ford of Wally Dallenbach. Had a pretty good run going, trying to hang on as the points leaders' pits are excited. So are the fans watching the laps click away. 182 are complete.
In this unstable world we live in, it's nice to know some things are reliable and secure. Balker Motors, family-owned and operated for over 76 years. Balker Motors, over 29 Chrysler 5-star awards for excellence. Balker Motors, selling Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge cars and trucks. Balker Motors, 4 miles south of Spring Grove, on the hill in Jefferson. Balker Motors, where people are very important.
Best Automotive Hanover isn't like the rest. Give the people what they want. Low prices, lower payments, highest trade-in value, and superior service after the sale. That's what makes us best. So come to Best Automotive Hanover, where your horse of a different color.
Whoa, wait a second. What are we doing here? Are we kidnapping the Rivals mascot here? That's the kind of football spirit I like to see, but if you really want to show them, take a few of these mice I've dyed your school color. Drop a few of these babies in his costume and see how he likes that. Still got it.
Give me that hokey pokey now, baby! Back with our NASCAR Winston Cup coverage of the GoRacing.com 500 presented by SkyTel. As Tony Stewart now begins to pull away a little bit. Over a second interval between himself and the second place car of Rusty Wallace.
Actually, Rusty has closed back in a little bit. You know, a while back he was 2 seconds ahead.
And now he's about a little over 1 second. So yes, Rusty Wallace has closed back in. I don't know if Rusty Wallace has gotten better or if it's Tony Stewart catching his traffic.
Yeah, I think that certainly has something to do with it. Jerry Maydew coming into the pits. Green flag pit stop for the car number 25.
Speaking of that, I wonder if we'll be able to see a green flag pit stop. You normally have so many cautions at Bristol, you see everything under the caution flag. It'd be interesting to see a green flag stop, possibly coming up in a few laps. We'll see what's happening at Tony Stewart's speed, working this traffic. We'll get his speed at the line. And we see
Dale Earnhardt was the fastest there.
And the 99 car was second quick.
And our junior back there also quickly. Dale Jarrett back in the pack, moving toward the top 15.
And obviously you can see that Dale Earnhardt, the 3, has gotten by Jeff Moore, taking over the 4th spot.
Daryl Waltrip said he might not get back out there. Well, they just saw that 66 going around the racetrack.
Good for him. DW, there he is back on the racetrack. DW is pulling out as the field goes by. Dale Earnhardt now being shown in the 4th position. Made the pass a moment ago.
In the middle of the corner, Jeff Gordon is really struggling getting back on the throttle. He turns the car when he just cannot get on the throttle. Sterling Marlin, the 3rd place car, comes in the pit area.
So, Jerry, we are seeing those green flag pit stops.
Lap 195, 3rd place car on pit road. Scott Eggleston and company changing tires as you look from above with the Coors Light crew. 4-tire stop for Sterling Marlin out of Columbia, Tennessee. An adjustment on the left rear, and he's down and away.
Tony Stewart goes by the 9 car, puts another lap on Bobby Hill, and has put a lap on Kenny Wallace in the 55 car. And Jimmy Spencer, the 26 car, is in 21st position, right in front of the leader.
Here's 4th and 5th, Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin. If Mark is able to pass like we've seen some others go around Gordon.
If Jeff moves up the racetrack, this time he hugs the bottom of the track coming off the corner. Now we'll watch down here in 3 and 4 where he moved up a moment ago and allowed Earnhardt to get by. No, he hugs that bottom groove and Martin can't get to the inside. Tony Stewart is the leader. Rusty Wallace in 2nd. Earnhardt is 3rd. This is the battle for 4th.
As we watch this battle, let's put it in perspective. Sterling Marlin, we said that he made a pit stop, and he did. He is 1 lap down and came out just right in front of the leader, so that's how much time you lose here. Almost 2 laps you lose when you make a green flag pit stop here at Bristol.
And that's why everyone is sitting down the right. They'd all would love to stop and get tires on, as Sterling Marlin did, because they know the car would be faster. But if they pit and then the caution flag comes out, as it's liable to do here at Bristol, then you're a lap down.
Well, what about the 40 pit stop, Bill Weber?
It was early, Jerry, but he had a flat and badly torn up right front tire. Sterling Marlin had to pit early, lost time on the tracks, but he's lucky to still be in this race, right front on the 40.
Wow. Thanks, Bill. They had no choice, guys. They had to come in there. Wow.
Okay. I thought it was a little early. There's Mike Skinner about to go a lap down. Mike is running in the 20th position. We documented a little earlier that his car had gone away on it.
Now, he and Tony are the best of buddies off the racetrack. They drive for competing hardware stores, but they're best of friends, and now Mike moves up and Tony goes by.
There's a 25 car of Jerry Nadeau in pit. Told you just a few moments ago, Nadeau made a pit stop, changed tires. He's quicker probably than the leader right now.
In the spring, Tony Stewart had an engine come apart, ended up finishing 42nd here at Bristol. His worst finish of the year, trying to make up for it here in the night race. And how about Jeff Burton? This Exide car is making a move.
Jeff Burton started in 35th position and now is in 7th spot.
You see there how he did it.
Our Haviland serial scoring showing you exactly how he's marched his way to the front, now in 7th position. How about it, Ray Dunlap?
Well, Jerry, this is one of their very best cars. In 1999, this exact same chassis won 4 different times, but it has yet to win so far this year. Burton says the car's been really, really good, but it's a little bit tight right in the center, so they're going to try to fix that. I just asked crew chief Frank Stoddard, when will you pit if it stays green? He says, I let the driver make those decisions.
And the 2-car, Rusty Wallace, Bill Weber, is on pit road at 35 miles an hour headed to you.
And this is slightly early for them, but Rusty wants new tires and wants to get some track position and have an edge. So he's going to come in, air pressure adjustment, right side tires going on. He's been just a little loose on the racetrack. You saw the wedge adjustment on the left rear. They swing around to the left side. Nobody else on this side of pit row. Car is up, tires going on, wait for the left front. Lug nuts are tight, Rusty's got fuel, and see what happens.
All right, 208, he came down pit road. He goes back on the racetrack at lap 210.
And Jeff Gordon comes down pit road if you watch Russ to get his speed up.
He goes into turn 3s and in 4th gear, comes through the corner. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Jeff Gordon on pit road. He will make a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment as well. His car has been too tight. That's a minor wedge adjustment. Remember, they think this car will come to Gordon on long runs. It didn't happen the hour, but it did during the day. That's a great stop. 4 tires and fuel, and he's on his way. 15.4 seconds.
Wow, great stop for Robbie Loomis and company. Tony Stewart, though, goes by as Gordon comes out and comes up to speed. So Jeff Gordon will, by virtue of that green flag stop.
And Rusty Wallace is right behind Gordon, so he did pick up. Bobby Hamilton is in the pits. The Kodak Chevrolet.
Let's go down to John Turner.
Bobby Hamilton is in for a 4-tire change about 37 laps early. They said they were going to go to lap 250. He got a nice cold drink, threw it out the driver's side. A good pit stop, no adjustment. Bobby Hamilton is running very well tonight.
And Ricky Rudd was also on and off pit road in the backstretch in the Haviland Ford. You watch the Kodak Chevy. There is Rudd coming back up to speed as he tries to stay in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he should be able to with those fresh tires. Watch Sterling Marlin there. Here's the 28 car of Rudd. Sterling Marlin right behind him, just pitting about 12 laps ago. He's got fresh tires as well, but these cars are considerably quicker than anybody else has been out there.
And Chad Little's back in the back pits of John Deere car and can't get it started. They're pushing, and it doesn't seem to want to roll.
Jeff Hammond and the crew trying to get it fired.
Jeff Gordon unlapping himself, so is Rusty Wallace as Stewart coming down pit road.
He can't stand it. He's got to have those fresh tires, Bill Weber.
Yeah, and the fact that Wallace and Gordon have already pitted, forcing the hand of some of these guys. They can't stay out on the track that long. The 20 cars on pit road. Park has also come on to pit road. This should be a routine stop for these guys. Stewart's car has been very good. Able to get around Wallace and hold the lead. Right side tires on, comes around to the left. Tony had trouble here in the spring, trying to make up for it. As we talked about, left side's going on. Ford has 4 tires, and he heads back out to Bray.
As
You watch Tony Stewart lead. Take a look at Steve Park's crew now as they're working on that car. Left side tires. He is down and away 17.5 seconds. And Terry Labonte was in and out of pit road on the backstretch as Dale Earnhardt comes in front of John Kernan.
It'll be a 4-tire change for Dale Earnhardt. No adjustments. He stayed out there, led a lap up of 5 bonus points. He, too, was planning the pit on lap 250. And the engine stalls, but Earnhardt fires it back up before they get the left side jacked up. Left side tires going on. Lutnuts going in. Looks like a really good pit stop for Dale Earnhardt. So Bill Weber. And Mark Martin now on pit road. His car has also been tight, so they will make a wedge adjustment. Looks like a couple of rounds, and they also made an air pressure adjustment that they had talked about on the radio with Mark. Left side tires going on, fuel going in. Martin will be back on his way, gets back in gas, gets the computer, off he goes. Also, the 31 of Mike Skinner is on pit road. He had a good run earlier in the race. He's been sliding back in the field, wedge adjustment tires, and fuel to Dunlap.
As I told you, John, they're going to make an air pressure adjustment on the right side. 1 pound down on both tires to the right side to try to help the car handle a little bit better in the center. Jeff Burton was the leader when he came in. Now Bobby Labonte takes over the lead. No wedge adjustment for the 99. And we see the 88 car coming in. Dale Jarrett now goes to pit road. As he comes in, they may make a track bar adjustment. No. Crew chief waves it off here. They're going to do it with air pressure. On the right front, down 1/2 pound. Air goes in, gas goes in, and now Bobby Labonte is here. Bobby Labonte has taken the lead, so he gets bonus points tonight. Bobby says this car is handling the best it has all night long. It's a little slow on restarts, but he's pretty happy with the chassis, so they won't make any changes. Go to the left side here. Fuel is in. Labonte is out of the way after just a little bit of a hang-up on the left front. Now to John Kernan.
Elliott Sadler, who had a great car looking for tonight for a good run, is in. It's a 4-tire change. No chassis adjustments. A good stop for the Wood brothers.
Wow, guys, great pit coverage down there, front and back pits as Elliott Sadler comes back out on the racetrack. And Kevin LePage, this car number 16, is being shown as the leader. He has yet to come on pit road in the FamilyClick.com Ford Taurus, owned by Jack Roush.
There's a lot of cars out there right now just trying to outlast the leader and hope the caution flag comes out before they have to make their pit stop. Rusty Wallace, all these fellows that were in front of them. Now here comes Kevin LePage, so to lose the lead.
LePage comes down pit road.
That should leave Jimmy Spencer in the lead.
Pat Tryson and company going to work on the right side of the LePage Ford. Change those right side tires. They will make an adjustment on the left rear. Break a couple of rounds. Left side tires for Kevin LePage, and Jimmy Spencer being shown as the leader at lap 228 here in Bristol, Tennessee. Down and away, 17.1 seconds for LePage on his green flag stop.
Jerry Nadeau hit the wall a few laps ago coming off of turn 2, I think it was. Here's Spencer. And see how jammed up they are coming off of turn 2? And there he goes right up. Yeah, it looks like he glazed the wall there a little bit.
Now from the Caterpillar Husqvarna roof camera, see if we can see what happened to Jerry right in front of him up there.
He made contact with the wall, okay. Didn't look like it was that much of a contact, but it sent him to the pit area anyway, to pit road.
All right, Jimmy Spencer is the leader in the car number 26. The big K Ford Taurus peels off, and Spencer jerks it hard left, Jimmy, left. And he comes down pit road as the crew now, Donnie Wingo and company, will make his pit stop on lap 231. And with that stop, everyone now will have pitted, and they will be showing Sterling Marlin as the leader. Now, left side tires for Wingo and company as Jimmy Spencer finally gets the tires on, and he was down and away, so Spencer becomes the final car to make a pit stop, and Sterling Marlin in the Coors Light Silver Bullet showing the way at Bristol Motor Speedway at lap 233.
So that strategy of pitting early and going in the pit area, getting those fresh tires on, work for Sterling Marlin. He has the lead. He has about a second and a half on Tony Stewart.
So a good call by Scott Eggleston and company as Sterling stays out, and now he's our leader. Back with more live coverage in just a moment.
Nice looking jacket.
Special edition.
Leather.
Name your price, man. Your hat.
Some people will give anything, hey Jack, to own the special edition NASCAR 2000 jacket. But it's yours for just $169 when you buy any Exide Select battery. And you'll be helping the kids at Duke Children's Hospital.
Hey, Jack, where's your hat?
Look for details wherever Exide Select is sold.
Nice hat.
Thanks.
Make your move, Tony. Got it, Joe.
You know, at times like these, I'm glad I'm driving the wide track Grand Prix.
With handling like this and this, I can really turn a race around. On the way to the winner's circle, wider is better. The wide track Grand Prix by Pontiac.
You worry about your car lasting? Imagine going 500 miles in one stretch at 200 miles an hour. That gets out the life right out of your car. That's why my team has always used Havoline Motor Oil, the same unique formulation you can get for your car. That's the kind of protection I'm talking about. Why aren't you guys working?
Buy 12 quarts of Havoline Motor Oil and get a free U.S. soccer cap. Hurry, it's a kick. Only from Havoline.
Our ESPN coverage of exciting NASCAR Winston Cup racing from Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by the Wide Track Pontiac Grand Prix, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team, by Havoline Formula 3 Motor Oil, add more life to your car, and by Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Well, pit road is very busy right now because we are under caution for the 5th time today. Coming out just a moment ago on lap 236, Ward Burton had slowed roughly down in front of you, John Kernan.
Another major track bar adjustment for Ward Burton's crew as the car is just too tight. 4 tire change for Tommy Baldwin and company. They work on the left side. Down the way. Ward was slowing down to come on the pit road right before this caution came out. In fact, he had come down pit road just as it came out, so he went on down, exited pit road, back out onto the racetrack, and then he had to come and pit on the second time by because he is a lap down.
We might explain why we are under caution. The car number 32 of Scott Pruitt had a problem. The Tide machine, the Cowell's own car, up in turn 2. We'll show you what happened.
On board Rick Mast, the Conseco car, and when Mike Skinner backed off to avoid the 32 car, Mast runs in the back of it, spins the 31. There was no contact. Here's Skinner. It looks like there might have been contact with the 32 car and someone on the inside of him, which caused Scott Pruitt to spin.
Now from the McDonald's roof cam from David Green's vantage point, left side of your screen, those cars spinning. He just avoids Mike Skinner's spinning car.
And there we see Pruitt sliding across the wall with the left rear, the left side.
Now a couple of cars came in and out of pit road. Ray, how about the car number 99?
Well, Jerry, Jeff Burton had just been in recently, but he did not like that set of tires. We've heard that an awful lot throughout the course of this season, but he's on the lead lap there, so they said, let's come in right now and get another set on. Maybe the driver will like them better. Now to Bill Weber.
Well, interesting move by the 40 car. Sterling Marlin did pit under this caution, gave up great track position. Now he's going to have to fight his way back to the front. We talked to the crew. They basically came in to get fresh tires and fuel because their tires were a little older than everyone else, but here at Bristol, I mean, they really gave up excellent track position when it was just really a handful of laps that they had run on their tires more than anyone else. So, they said you come get tires when you can, so they did. We'll see how it works out.
And Bill will also add to your list there the 21 car of Elliott Sadler, Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, the 4 of Hamilton, and the 28 of Ricky Rudd, also pitting under this 5th caution flag of the day. Tony Stewart, our leader, after 240 laps, are complete. Back to Bristol in just a moment.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yes, you are. Oops. He's not going to like that. Perfect. Now tell me this isn't the finest crop you've ever seen. you go next.
For the best flakes, we only accept the best corn. Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
His car's green, right?
No, blue.
What's his number?
88.
88. Now, which one do we want?
Daryl Jarrett.
Daryl Jarrett. Can you open the cup for me? Hey, let me ask you something. What does that sound like?
It sounds like Daryl took the lead.
You did it? Come on. Hey, do you know his dad's name?
I've got 3 boys, and I've got to save time wherever I can. When I'm getting my oil changed at Walmart, it's great because it's right there. It's connected to the Walmart store, so I go shopping. What else do I do? We drop the car off, and then we scatter in all directions. Electronics, sports, toys, and usually my car is ready before I am. I totally trust these guys. I can get my car done, and I can get all my shopping done at the same time.
Walmart Tire and Lube Express. Great service, great prices, and the world's most interesting waiting room.
Walmart just makes my life easier.
Fall is in the air.
Hoo-ha.
And that means it's time for fantasy football from ESPN.com. You and 9 friends log on. You form your own league. You hold your own draft. You make unlimited trades and transactions. And you are the master of your team's destiny.
The capo di tutti capi.
It's ESPN Fantasy Football 2000. The classiest fantasy football on the internet.
It's primo.
Which has 2 races remaining in this year's Indy Racing Northern Lights Series. The championship battle is a tight one. Several drivers still eligible for the championship. Scott Goodyear, 3rd in points, added 3 markers to his total, winning his first pole position yesterday. We'll be on at 2:30 Eastern right after the truck race. Jerry?
Thank you very much, Bob. You'll be able to see the Kentucky Indy 300 at 2:30 Eastern time tomorrow, Northern Lights Series. And before that, how about some NASCAR Craftsman truck action? The Chicago 175 at 12:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Pacific. Joe Ruttman on the pole in his Dodge up there in Chicago. So NASCAR Craftsman trucks followed by Northern Lights Series Kentucky Indy 300 at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
As we get ready for a restart here, we have an interesting situation, Jerry. Terry Labonte was a lap down, but when Sterling Marlin came into the pits, well, that put him at the head of the line. So he's almost a lap down, so he gets to stay up in front of Tony Stewart, who is the actual leader of the race. So if he can beat Ken Schrader, who is a lap down on the inside there, he might be able to stay on the lead lap for a little bit.
All right, Ned, we'll see what happens to Texas Terry as Rodney Wise waves the green flag. Could have said it better myself. Green flag coming out on lap 246 after 9 caution laps, the 5th caution of the day.
And Tony Stewart caught up on that high side there, and several cars getting back on the lead lap. Ken Schrader, one of them. Terry Labonte leads that pack.
And Rusty Wallace is trying to sneak down to the inside, right behind Jeffrey Bodine. Tony says, I see you coming, Rusty. Well, and Rusty's going to try to make a move on the bottom of the racetrack. But can Tony get down? Now he gets down.
Tony's going to have to try to put a lap on these cars. Jeffrey Bodine, Kenny Schrader, and Terry Labonte. If he can catch them, he's going to have to try to do it on the bottom of the racetrack because if he goes high, he's got Rusty Wallace there ready to pounce.
Just joined us. Rusty was our pole sitter, led twice for 134 of about the first 150 laps. Tony Stewart now has led 81 laps. With 11 different leaders, 12 lead changes, and we are just now past the halfway point.
And it looks like right now that Rusty Wallace, his car is locking the 4 tires he put on his car. It looks like he's just a little bit quicker than Tony Stewart. Halfway signal is given to the field.
Cross flags, 250 down, 250 to go. Here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'll take a look at the 2 guys that are in the points battle. There's Dale Jarrett in the 88 car, the quality care machine being shown back in 6th position. DJ hasn't led a lap tonight. And right behind him, 2 cars back, is the 18, the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Back in 8th position to Bobby Labonte and Daryl Jarrett trying to avoid the big crunch at Bristol thus far. They're halfway home.
And Bobby Labonte has led a lap tonight. He stayed out there when all the cars made some pit stops and has led a couple laps. He has received the 5 bonus points.
I'm sure that Bobby would be tickled to death to finish in the top 10 and having led that lap. If he keep that 88 in sight, that would be just fine with him.
On board with Bobby Labonte, our Circuit City onboard camera as he flows up on the back bumper of Steve Park. That's a battle for the 7th spot.
We mentioned in 4 of his last 5 trips here, Bobby Labonte has finishes of 25th or worse, and a 6th place finish here in the spring. And the right side of that dash, the Cody Unser Foundation sticker. That is the daughter of Al Unser Jr. We all know that story about how Cody has battled back from transverse myelitis, and Bobby Labonte drove as a sub for Al Jr. in the IROC Series last year, donated all his winnings to begin to open up that foundation. I'll tell you how benevolent these race drivers are, and now it's become a major part of that fundraiser for Cody Unser. We are hearing that 24 may be experiencing a problem. Jeff Gordon, 4-time winner here. Let's go down to his pits and Bill Weber.
4 laps to go. Jeff Gordon radioed in. There's something wrong with the motor. 2 laps to go. He radioed in. We're blowing up. He's still on the track, but he is losing track position.
Jeff Gordon has had some pretty rough finishes the last two outings at Watkins Glen in Michigan. Leader, the car number 20, in the middle of your screen. That is Tony Stewart. The 60 and 36 are lap cars. Here comes Mark Martin now pulling right on the rear deck of Rusty Wallace.
You see Terry Labonte, he's pulled out pretty far from him. We mentioned him on the restart there. So Terry is still on the lead lap. He's in 17th position. And Ken Schrader is still on the lead lap. Jeffrey Bodine in car number 60 is still 1 lap down. If Tony Stewart gets around him, he would be 2 laps down. He is back in 32nd position.
Stewart dives down to the bottom, trying to get these guys off the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make them think that he's going to dive to the inside. There he goes. He's going to look again on the inside. Wants Jeffrey to think he's there, so he'll move up the racetrack, and he can be there.
And
now Jeff Gordon dead on the inside of the track there as cars go by him, and you heard Bill Weber say a moment ago that he apparently has lost the cylinder. As you can see now, he just doesn't have the power coming off the corner as Brett Bodine will go by.
He goes down, Jeff Gordon keeps it down on the inside of the racetrack and said, okay, guys, I don't have the power down the straightaway, but you're going to have to pass me on the outside.
Jeff Gordon coming in 10th in the point standings.
Dale Jarrett goes by. That puts DJ up to the 5th position.
You know, back in 1961 here, Benny, when this track first opened, I lost a cylinder pretty early in the race. Then I lost another one. Then another one. Finished the race on 5 cylinders. Finished in 3rd place. Can you believe that? Of course, the attrition rate was a little bit higher back then than it is now.
Jack Smith won that one. Fireball, and then Ned. Top 3 in that very first one.
Oh, and Rusty slips on the bottom of the racetrack, and Mark was just ready there. Could not quite get by.
Mark Martin chomping at the bit. The Valvoline Ford Taurus. A 2-time winner here at Bristol, Tennessee. Right on the rear bumper of that Miller Lite Ford.
Boy, he is dogging him. And Kevin LePage in the pit for an unscheduled pit stop. Martin just waiting for an opening. You thought he had one a few laps ago, but the door closed on him pretty quickly.
Mark Martin's lone win this year coming at Martinsville. Now he looks to the inside of Rusty. Will he have enough to get there? Not quite.
Oh, yes. Now Rusty goes up the hill. I don't know if there was contact between Mark and Rusty or not, but put Mark Martin in that 2nd spot.
And Tony Stewart is looking at mirror because that Valvoline hood is coming in a hurry. Stewart still trying to get by Jeffrey Bodine in the car number 60. Bodine being shown a lap down in 31st position, and Mark Martin has pulled to within a car length, making a half a car length of the leader. Well, we'll take a break and come back and see if possibly Mark Martin can get a shot at taking the lead here tonight at Bristol. Back in a moment.
Make your move, Tony.
Got it, Joe. You know, at times like these, I'm glad I'm driving the wide track Grand Prix. With handling like this and this, I can really turn race around. On the way to the winner's circle, wider is better. The wide track Grand Prix by Pontiac.
You worry about your car lasting? Imagine going 500 miles in one stretch at 200 miles an hour. That gets out the life right out of your car. That's why my team has always used Havoline Motor Oil, the same unique formulation you can get for your car. That's the kind of protection I'm talking about. Why aren't you guys working?
Buy 12 quarts of Havoline Motor Oil and get a free U.S. soccer cap. Hurry, it's a kick, only from Havoline.
Now that Napa Auto Parts and accessories are available online, have we suddenly become hipper? Well, maybe a little. NapaOnline.com, where the world's largest inventory of ready-to-ship parts and expert advice you depend on in our stores, are now available online around the clock. And if something isn't right, you can ship it back or return it to your participating Napa store and we'll make it right. Actually, this is pretty hip.
You know, Robert Yates, Todd Parrott, the whole 88 team, they're not just people I work with, they're like family to me.
Families are real important in NASCAR. My father got me into it, and now it's my turn. Hey, can I borrow the keys to your car this weekend? No.
Families are great support, but I compete with my brother. So do the Burtons, the Wallaces, we all want to win.
Hey, look, I love my brothers, but I'm not going to let them pass me on Sunday.
This is NASCAR.
Dad. No.
Welcome you back to Bristol Motor Speedway of Bristol, Tennessee. A new leader here tonight. The Valvoline Ford of Mark Martin just a moment ago, 2 laps ago to be exact, and here's how it happened.
Goes down in turn 1, and Tony Stewart sees him back there, and Mark has been very, very fast. Tony did not really argue with Mark. Mark just moved up the racetrack and let him have that spot.
Go ahead, Dan. Some heavy racing right there. Sterling Marlin, we said he made a pit stop, and he's been coming back up through the pack with those fresh tires. Bobby Hamilton now trying to move on the inside of the 1 car of Steve Hart. And here's Ward Burton, but Ward is a lap down.
Jimmy Dean telemetry riding on board the Husqvarna Pontiac for Ward Burton shows you his speed there in traffic. Not what would it be without the car in front of him. 120 couple miles an hour.
Steve Park was run up in the 5th spot just a few laps ago. He's now fallen back to the 9th spot.
Now right behind this car is our points leader. There's the car number 18 and the 28 of Ricky Rudd. Bobby Labonte and Ricky Rudd are there. That is the 10th and 11th position. And the 77 car of Robert Presley is there. And there's the 99 car. That's all for position. That's 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th.
You know, we saw Robert Presley way back early in the race was really having some problems, handling problems with that number 77 Ford, but he apparently got it straightened out and still up there in the lead lap running in 12th position. So he's done a great job.
And they held him a lap in the pits for pitting outside his box. He had lost a lap. He has made that lap up and now come all the way back to 12th position. So a great run for Robert Presley as you ride along with the X-Side onboard camera for Jeff Burton. A little bit of contact, Benny.
Well, right now Sterling Marlin is going by Dale Jarrett's back over the 6th spot. At Bristol, I don't know if Bristol you'd call that contact or not, probably a little bit of rubbing. Also Ted Musgrave, the Bell South car. 01 car has got by these. He has moved into the 5th position.
Benny, Ted Musgrave started 40th in the 01 car. Give a call to him. His 10th start this year, and as you said a moment ago, an 01 car all the way up in 5th position. What a great run for the 44-year-old driver, Ted Musgrave.
And he is gaining quickly on Dale Earnhardt, who is running in 4th position. As we watch this battle between Jeff Burton and Robert Presley, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Haven't seen much of him tonight, but here he is.
At his 12th, 13th, and 14th, and riding along with the 12th place car, looking back at the 13th place effort of Robert Presley. And here comes the 31 car, Mike Skinner.
And right now, Musgrave is closing in on the back bumper of Dale Earnhardt. Could be because Earnhardt was caught in behind the 11 car Brett 09, or it could be that Musgrave is faster. We'll have to see how it plays out.
I think those fresher tires that Musgrave and Sterling Marlin have are just allowing them to motor towards the front.
What about Dale Earnhardt's situation, John Kernan?
Jerry, I just talked to his crew chief, Kevin Hamlin. He said Dale told him a few laps might have a tire going down. And I asked him, I said, well, is it loose? Is it like a right rear, or is it a right front? He said, well, I don't really know. So the crew is up on the wall. They're at the ready, just in case Earnhardt decides to duck onto pit road. But right now, Kevin Hamlin watching the monitor, watching our coverage very carefully to see what might be wrong with the 3 car. But then again, who knows? It may not be anything wrong with it.
And you watch Earnhardt there trying to hold off the challenge of Bobby Hamilton in the Kodak Chevrolet, 4th position for 6th spot. Earnhardt, who won this race a year ago from 26 starting spot, far back in the field. Earnhardt, having been one of our leaders, he led 2 laps. We have had 11 different leaders, 13 lead changes. Mark Martin currently is our leader. If you watch this side-by-side action,
77 car Robert Presley loses another spot to the 21 car.
That 12 car of Jeremy Mayfield there is 3 laps down as he goes around. Remember, he had that flat tire. He had to make a green flag pit stop way back in the race.
There are 16 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is Jeff Gordon. As you watch this battle here, Dale Jarrett in the 88 in the 1 car. Steve Park for 9th, 8th, and 9th.
Hamilton drives on the inside of Earnhardt. Got position, takes that spot away. So put Bobby Hamilton up in the 6th spot.
Now Jarrett, both Jarrett and Park have caught Earnhardt. You heard John Kernan say Kevin Hamilton, the crew, said Earnhardt thinks he might have had a tire going down.
It's been a very slow leak here if it is going down, because it would show up big time in this racetrack if it was really getting low.
Maybe the handle is going away, but he's obviously not running nearly as well as he's run early on in this race.
No, he is not. You're right.
Possible problem brewing in the 18 pit. Let's check in with Ray.
Well, Jerry, Bobby Labonte has been on the radio saying that his right foot and his right leg are getting really bad cramps in them. So he asked Jimmy Maycar if any other drivers have fallen out of this race. We may need to get a standby driver. I just saw Dave Blaney over here in the pit, and I think Blaney is going to get his uniform back on in case this situation gets worse for our point leader.
Wow. He's still running good out there. He's gaining on these cars that we've been watching race here.
As Earnhardt loses another spot, Steve Park goes by in the Pennzoil car. So Earnhardt is now falling back to the 9th spot. What's he lost? 6 spots in the last few laps, Ned?
Yes.
As you ride along with our Winston Cup points leader back up front, it's tightening up again as Tony Stewart moves it on the back of Mark Martin. They are 1st and 2nd as we are just past the 300 lap mark. 302 laps are complete. High Bank Winston Cup action at Bristol Motor Speedway. Martin, Stewart, Wallace, Musgrave, and Marlin are the top 5.
Record new vehicle sales have left Gene Lotta's lot jam-packed with quality pre-owned cars and trucks. They've lowered their prices to move this massive pre-owned inventory. Most cars and trucks carry an exclusive 12-month, 12,000-mile signature limited powertrain warranty. There's no better deal anywhere than the combination of savings and service at Gene Lotta Ford Buick. Let Gene Latta save you money.
Completely satisfied customers are our trademark.
We guarantee it.
Instant coffee, instant pudding, instant replay, instantly recognizable name brand merchandise, shoes and athletic footwear from Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more, accessories, outerwear, and NASCAR merchandise, and lower prices across the board. Now in our 20th year with the same great selection and service. Visit our permanent location on Carlisle Street in Hanover. Instant replay. Just add water.
Holy cow! The smash to Elway. Gets it to Kresge. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! Save, rebound, score! Do you believe it?
Dale Jarrett here with a very special offer. A new CD of all my favorite tracks. Immerse yourself in one of my personal favorites, the melodic grandeur of Daytona International Speedway. The dulcet tones of Lowe's Motor Speedway. Set your spirits soaring to the sounds of California Speedway. Of course, these performances are better live. But bring your Visa card, because at these tracks you can't buy tickets with an American Express card.
Visa, it's everywhere NASCAR fans want to be.
This is my favorite part.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, I'm Jerry Punch, along with Ned Jarrett, Vinnie Parsons, Bill Weber, Ray Dunlap, and John Kernan, covering live Winston Cup action as the leader, Mark Martin, tries to work traffic, and now the second place car, Tony Stewart, trying to get beneath Joe Nemechek. Now, moments ago, a little bit of a contact off of turn 2.
Go down the corner, and there's the contact between Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car and Jeff Burton in 99. Let's see what Park Plus onboard camera shows. Oh, yeah, there we go. Burton chases the car up the hill, and Earnhardt Jr. takes that spot. That was 13th.
And now Ned Jarrett, the next car to go a lap down will be
Jeff Gordon. He is in the 16th position. Mark Martin moves on the inside of him. Gordon, remember, lost a cylinder about 20 or 30 laps ago. And now he was up there in 4th position when he lost that cylinder. Now goes a lap down.
Tony Stewart now moved to the inside. And the 4 car of Bobby Hamilton on pit road. The Kodak crew now changing tires. They've already changed right side tires to go to the left side of the car.
Well, this is a little earlier than I thought they would need to come in. John?
I think this is just a little bit early for a scheduled pit stop for the 4 car because they had moved up into the top 5, but it came in changed 4 tires. I don't see any problem with the tires, so maybe they've decided to come in a little bit early, short pit, get the fresh tires on, go out there and run a lot of hard laps, faster than the leaders and make up some ground that way. To Bill Weber.
Well, Mark Martin continues out on the racetrack and having a good run, but his car is still tight. So he just talked it over with Jimmy Fennick. They're going to loosen it up one more round when he pits. They're about 75 laps into this set of tires.
Still maintaining the lead as they go around John Andretti. Andretti another lap down.
More on the Bobby Hamilton pit stop with John Kernan.
I just talked to Danny Gill, the crew chief, and he says, yes, it was early. They were having a problem with the tire. Actually, a little bit of a vibration with one of the tires, so they thought they'd better bring him in, change all 4, and send him back out on the racetrack. But a problem for the 4 car is the tires.
And we got a car in the wall. Looks like the car number 9 of Bobby Hill, and the 18 car spins behind him. The point leader gets a little bit of a bump from behind, I think, and Bobby Labonte spins.
And here comes the leader. Bobby's going to lose a lap.
As the leaders go by, Bobby jams it back in gear and puts the foot on the throttle, but he will lose a lap by virtue of being tagged and spun in turns 3 and 4. How quickly things can change.
Right now, his hand's asleep. You see him moving, shaking his hand in there? His hand's asleep. At this racetrack, holding that wheel like that and trying to turn it so hard, your hand will go to sleep.
Well, we had a report earlier that he was having cramps with his leg, and it could be that he was already, his hand was cramping a little bit as well.
It'd be hard to imagine you can get isolated cramps just in the lower extremities now. And the treatment of that would be hydration, but you can't get enough to drink in the race car here. They don't have enough time in the pits, so they're, if you heard Ray Dunlap say a little bit ago, they will consider getting possibly a stand-in driver for Bobby Labonte. Pit stops the order of the day. They head down pit road at 35 miles an hour. To you, Bill Weber.
Mark Martin has the second-place car sitting right in front of him. That's Tony Stewart. For Mark, again, one round out because his car is tight. Should be no changes for Tony Stewart. In fact, they've only made one slight air pressure adjustment the entire night. Left side tires going on the 6. Topping it off with fuel. Now he's away. Stewart right in front of him. They will drag race down pit road.
That looks like Rusty might have beaten both of them out.
Looks like you had it right. The Rusty Wallace might in fact have beaten them both out.
By virtue of being further down pit road, Rusty Wallace, then Martin, then Tony Stewart in that order as they exited the pits.
And boy, Bobby Hamilton gets a tough break, makes that pit stop trying to get some fresh tires on, and now he's a couple laps down.
And John Kerner, what about Dale Earnhardt's pit stop?
Right after the caution came out, Earnhardt told Kevin Hamlin that the handle on the car had just gone away. It was spinning really bad coming off the corner. That's why he thought he might have had a flat right rear tire, but that wasn't the case. So they came in, put on 4 fresh tires, made no chassis adjustments to the 3 cars.
All right, the 18 cars in front of you, Ray.
But Jerry, Bobby Labonte is not very happy about just what went on the racetrack. He said his right foot is a terrible cramp. His left side is going numb. He wants a bunch of water here, and he has said he is going to stay in this race car if it kills him. He wants to finish this race right now.
Bobby Labonte wants to win the Winston Cup Championship, and those are the kind of things that will help you win the Winston Cup title. Well, we are under caution for the 6th time on lap 320. Here's the incident up in turn 3.
Yep. There's a bump from David Green in the 94 McDonald's car. He hits Bobby Hillin in the 9 car. And as Bobby Hillin comes across, we're going to see the 18 spin into this.
Right side of your screen, watch the 18 car now. Watch the 31 behind him. The 18 goes beneath Earnhardt.
And the 31 comes in and hits the 18, spins him around.
Now from the Interstate Batteries onboard camera, there's what Bobby saw at his windshield.
So he was trying to go down to the inside of Dale Earnhardt and thought he had that pass made, and all of a sudden he gets hit from behind and around he goes.
Just trying to mind my own business and get down low.
And Bobby Labonte was putting that car in first gear before it stopped. I mean, he literally had his first gear good to go before it ever came to a stop sliding.
Well, there are 13 cars in the lead lap. Bobby Labonte 1 lap down, being shown now in 16th position. Back in a moment.
3 Chuck. So that's 4 coffees and a dozen donuts. Guys?
Drywallers are working at a whole new speed. They're using new easy scoring, clean snapping USG sheetrock brand wallboard and installing faster than ever.
Slow. Guys?
The next generation of wallboard is here.
Hey, it's about time. Now run get us some lunch. We need 4 hoagies, sodas, bag of chips.
You missed the spot.
Presenting The Day at the Gordons, where racing champion Jeff Gordon and his wife Brooke eat new Fritos chili and scoops. A hearty cup of chili and loads of Fritos corn chips. It's fast. It's filling. It's Fritos. Perfect for people on the go. New Fritos chili and scoops and sloppy Joe and scoops. Nothing goes faster.
Rima Umbrello.
You worry about your car lasting? Imagine going 500 miles in one stretch at 200 miles an hour. That gets out the life right out of your car. That's why my team has always used Havoline Motor Oil, the same unique formulation you can get for your car.
you guys working.
Buy 12 quarts of Haviland motor oil and get a free U.S. soccer cap. Hurry, it's a kick. Only from Haviland.
2000 Bud Pole Award winner Rusty Wallace picks up his 8th pole, becomes another one of the, well, he's already qualified for the 2001 Bud Shootout. 11 different drivers qualified, and Rusty Wallace, the Bud Pole Award winner for this one here at Goracing.com 500. Restart lap 328. The caution was out for 7 laps.
And Rusty was the man that beat him out of the pit, so he is in the lead once again.
And that was the benefit, Ned, of having that first pit stall up on the front stretch. All Rusty's got to do when they finish that pit stop is let the clutch out, and he's in front. Bobby Hamilton now 1 lap, couple of laps down, trying to get one of them back. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Benny pit stall and pit crew for Rusty Wallace. His stop, 15.085. They took a pound out of each of the front tires. Mark Martin stopped 17.14, 2 seconds slower than the 2.
And Tony Stewart caught on the high side of the racetrack, guys. He's going backwards.
Yes, he is. A lot of cars passing him. He's been passing cars tonight, but it's the other way around right now. He's back in 6th position. Now he gets back down on the inside. We'll see if he can pick some of those back off. With Bobby Labonte, who is a lap down. Bobby is being shown in the 16th position.
And right now, Tony Stewart's car is just not up to speed, Ned. Check him out. Before, he was closed up right on the back bumper of Steve Park to one car. Now, Park and these cars driving away from Tony Stewart. And Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt side by side, and Marlin goes by on the outside. Now Park is going to start on the outside.
Now Park drives for Dale Earnhardt, but on the racetrack he drives for himself. Every man for himself. When you watch this scramble, Earnhardt goes back around Park. That is 4th position and for the 4th spot. Benny mentioned a moment ago. There's the 40 car right in front of Sterling Marlin in 3rd position. Rusty is the leader. Mark Martin, 2nd spot. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screen. Bill Weber, what's going on with Tony Stewart?
Well, Jerry, Tony now talking it over with Greg Zipadelli, but on that last stop, in all that hectic rush around the car, they did make a small track bar adjustment. And now Tony says that car simply will not turn in the corners. They're hoping, like we talked about earlier, that the car will come to him. But right now, that is not the case.
Sometimes you put on a set of tires and one will grow a little bit more than the other on the first few laps. And it really throws the handling of the car off.
And Benny, it doesn't take much. You heard about a 1-pound air pressure adjustment for Rusty Wallace a moment ago, and his car takes off again. Doesn't take much of a difference for that car to go away.
You know, 1 pound of air pressure adjustment will make a big difference on these cars. Oh, and the contact there is Jeff Burke gets in the back of the 77 car Preston, gets kind of moving up the racetrack.
Takes over 11.
Goes by.
Mentioned there are 13 cars still on the lead lap. Ricky Rudd, the last car on the lead lap, back in 13th position. There's Rudd. You see him going by. Mexico Haviland Ford. Rudd coming off his best finish of the year last week at Michigan, finishing 2nd to Rusty Wallace. Speaking of Rusty Wallace, Rusty going for 2 in a row. There he is.
Out there just running by himself. That's the way you like it here at Bristol. You get out there, you don't have anything immediately in front of you. And his closest competitor there, Mark Martin, is not too far behind, about half a second.
But they have pulled out to over 3-second lead on the 3rd place car, Sterling Marlin.
Well, we told you Ted Musgrave was having a great run, and indeed he is, but he's in a battle right now as Dale Jarrett has looked high and looked low and now looks again at the rear deck of Ted Musgrave's Bell South Chevy. Dale Jarrett.
1 wrecked off a 4 here.
26 car, Jimmy Spencer, and I guess the 77 car is that. Oh, and Bobby Hamilton gets one of his laps back. That wasn't.
I don't think so. He got by Mark Martin, but not Rusty Wallace.
That's right. Mark was not leading the race.
No.
So caution number 7 coming out on lap 343. The incident involving Robert Presley spinning and the 26 car of Jimmy Spencer. Here again's what happened a moment ago. As Spencer to 26, Presley to 77. Bumper to bumper. Rudd right behind him. He's the last car on the lead lap. He makes it by. Gordon gets by. The damage is done, and the caution flag waves.
And those cars did not hit anything. The amazing thing is that neither of these guys hit anything other than that bump there that started the spin. They just spin down the straightaway. Jimmy Spencer literally stops to avoid hitting him, and the 77 doesn't back into the fence.
And Dale Earnhardt Sr. on pit road. John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt's in for 4 tires. They're going to take a rubber out of the left front as Dale Earnhardt Jr. also wins. Reach in, pull the rubber out, put the left front tire on. Only slows him down momentarily, but it is under caution. The lug nut did fall off, but they put it back on. It did happen under caution. No harm, no foul. And Earnhardt thinks that the car should be pretty good now that they've taken that rubber out of the left front spring.
Rubber out of the left front. Go ahead, guys. A couple of cars competing on the backstretch as well. There's Dale Jarrett and the 99 and also the 01 of Ted Musgrave. They all come in for pit stop. Let's go to the back pits and race.
Well, Ned, Dale Jarrett said, I've got to come for tires, and Todd Parrott said, no, we need a track position, and Dale said, I'm coming anyway. So they came in, they made the change. Jeff Burton says his car was terrible on that last set of tires. Ted Musgrave says his car's pretty good. They went down 1 pound air pressure on the right sides.
All right, thanks, Ray. 7th caution flag tonight, lap 342. Pit stop, we'll wrap it up. We come back, Rusty still leads.
Thousands of race fans braving the heat here to watch NASCAR's best try to conquer this track. And here comes our field.
Bobby Labonte showing the way into the final lap before the green. Tough luck early on for Jeff Burton with the Intimidator haunting his rearview mirror.
Everyone on their feet as the field enters turn 4 stacked at double wide, and our pace car finds pit road.
Down goes the throttle, down goes the green flag, and this is what race day is all about, folks.
Kyle Petty nudging Ricky Rudd, giving us some early action.
Number 44.
For everyone who'd rather do it themselves, we make the rugged, dependable Wagner Power Painter with power, control, and versatility like never before. If it needs painting, staining, or sealing, the choice is easy. Get a Wagner and get it done.
Celebrating by Team Monte Carlo.
Now, the first thing you've got to do is jump up here and scream and yell, woo! Make sure your hat guy forms them first, so you don't end up looking like a dork. Now, when somebody hands you one of these babies, make sure you say thank you. Thank you. Oh, man, don't eat the check.
Want to be like Jeff Gordon? Drive the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table, reservation. Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington? Sir, that's only $1. Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee. Great rates and no monthly fee? All day, every day. Oh. Walk this way.
Dial 10-10-220.
Well, perfect timing, getting set for the restart here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Gets the green flag signal from his spotter, and lap 349, 151 to go. We'll have a checkered flag on this 40th running of the Go.com Racing 500. As you watch Rusty pull away, we might mention that Bobby Hillin, both Bobby Hillin and Brett Bodine have been in the care center, infield care center for an overheating problem. Both are okay. We're hearing reports. Just getting some fluids. And I'm told that Robbie Gordon is in the car number 11, subbing for Brett Bodine. Got to give a call to Elliott Sadler in the Citgo Ford. There's the car number 21. Sadler being shown in 6th position.
Dale Earnhardt coming up on the outside of it. Now Earnhardt made a pit stop.
Now
just blows right up on the outside. Skinner has some heavy damage to his car. And it looks like Joe Nemechek has spun down between the first and second corner.
He gets his car going.
Damage on the front end of the low Chevrolet for Mike Skinner, bringing out caution number 8 on lap 352. The whole front grill section just peeled away. That car, that right front tire towed in from that contact.
There we see Earnhardt going up on the outside, and and Bobby Hamilton, that's where all the damage to the front of Skinner's car goes. He hits the right side of Bobby Labonte's car.
Bobby Labonte coming by on the front end, peeling off that sheet metal. Different view this time.
There we see Skinner going up the racetrack, and watch as he comes down and runs right in the side of Bobby Labonte. Mike Skinner's on the inside of Schrader. Oh, he goes down and gets the edge of the racetrack and spins and goes down, and there's a contact between Labonte and Skinner. On David Green.
Boy, Labonte just dodging. If he doesn't get cut hard left, he's in that front wheel well, and Bobby Labonte's in serious trouble, but he gets by. Okay, the car number 20 was on pit road. That's with the 21 of Elliott Sadler. Here's the damage being worked on in Mike Skinner's car. So both Tony Stewart and Elliott Sadler making pit stops during this 8th caution flag of the afternoon. Well, working caution again here at Bristol Motor Speedway as we work for that lap 500 magic mark. Back in just a moment.
Sometimes you just got to get it done, no matter what. You can plan all you want, but you still got deadlines. Sometimes you need extra equipment. I'll tell you who saved my neck a time or two. Nation's Rent. They got what I want. They get it to me when I need it. It's newer, and it works. I can count on these guys.
Nation's Rent carries on the Quip Textron, Snorkel, Low, SkyTrack, and SCATTRAC.
They get it done for me.
Nation's Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
You drive the way you drive. That's just the way it is. And that's fine. Because there's a new motor oil made to take it. Introducing new Pennzoil Synthetic with Penzane. Penzane was developed for the space program and is used by NASA. Don't change your driving. Just change your oil. Pennzoil Synthetic. It's rocket science for your car.
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Pennzoil Clean Engine Formula at Pep Boys.
Continues to lower the cost of home improvement.
Glidden Interior Flat Paint is now just $7.97 a gallon at the Home Depot. Every single color under the sun, every single day, just $7.97. And if you need any other paint supplies, remember, the Home Depot is America's favorite paint store. So paint your nursery, paint your dining room, paint your game room. There's never been a better time. The Home Depot, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
In anticipation of your unbridled success as a Wall Street Journal reader, how to keep your children humble. Give them chores to do around the house.
Time is my money.
Encourage them to play sports. A few tips on being madly successful from the Wall Street Journal, full of insight on making it big. Get the Journal for just 57 cents a day for 13 weeks, 25% off the regular rate. The Wall Street Journal. Call 800-213-0300. That's 800-213-0300.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway under caution. Attempted to go green just a moment ago, but debris on the racetrack. We never really got a complete lap in, so we are back under caution for the ninth time as we show you Bobby Labonte's onboard camera, the Circuit City onboard.
There's Skinner spin. It comes down and we hear the contact. And folks, Bobby Labonte has not made a pit stop as of yet to check the damage.
Bobby Labonte did not pit. Tony Stewart and Elliott Sadler did pit. As Jimmy Maycar watches his car on top of the pit box, we work caution number 9. And Rusty Wallace is our leader.
In this unstable world we live in, it's nice to know some things are reliable and secure. Balker Motors, family-owned and operated for over 76 years. Balker Motors, over 29 Chrysler 5-star awards for excellence. Balker Motors, selling Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge cars and trucks. Balker Motors, 4 miles south of Spring Grove, on the hill in Jefferson. Balker Motors, where people are very important.
Best Automotive Hanover isn't like the rest. Give the people what they want. Low prices, lower payments, highest trade-in value, and superior service after the sale. That's what makes us best. So come to Best Automotive Hanover, where your horse of a different color.
Football games at night. There's a certain je ne sais quoi. That's French.
It's more elegant, more poetic, more, dare I say, sexy.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
The Bills want to avenge the Music City Miracle as the Titans invade Rich Stadium. Right after NFL primetime at 7:30, it's the Titans versus the Bills at 8:30 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's football after dark.
Hey, Mr. Two Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. Look, missing an oil change is like giving a woman a vacuum cleaner for her birthday. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. It's been tested. It works. What more do you need to know?
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway under caution, working lap 362 here at the half-mile track. Just a few moments ago, under the previous caution, Tony Stewart pitted because his car was just too tight. So they made a track bar adjustment of 1 round, basically undoing what they had done on the previous stop, gave him 4 tires and fuel. He, like several other drivers, could make it to the finish on fuel, but the tires won't like that. Let's go to John Kernan.
Bill, that's exactly the same situation for Elliott Sadler and the Wood Brothers team. He pitted also the caution before this, took on 4 tires. They have not made a single adjustment to that race car all night long. In fact, the only complaint that Elliott has had is that his seat is a little bit high. To Ray Dunlap.
Well, John, the crew was very worried about the damage on the right front of Bobby Labonte's car after he made contact with Mike Skinner, so they thought about coming into pit, but Bobby said, we can't give up that track position, so they had Johnny Benson take a look at the car. He said he thought it was all right. There's 11 cars that are currently 1 lap down, so if Bobby would pit now, he would lose an awful lot of spots, so they're going to stay out there.
And remember, Dale Jarrett is still on the lead lap in 7th position. Well, SportsCenter coming up, the conclusion of our live coverage of NASCAR Winston Cup action from Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway. Back with the green flag in just a moment.
Okay, sweetie, on your toes. Swing through the ball, through it. Eye on the ball, hon. We're working on the forehand. Okay, let's try backhand. We'll work backhand. Okay, you just need to connect with the ball. Let's stay in the game, sweetheart. Now, don't be afraid to charge the net.
How do you plan on financing your retirement? Conseco's annuities have tax advantages that can help. Conseco, step up.
Hey, Jeff. Now, listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now, come on, Jeff, you tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff. See you later, Jeff.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
College Football Thursday. It's a Thursday night doubleheader kicking off at 8 on ESPN.
Auburn has a newfound strength, and it's in the air. Quarterback Ben Laird to wide receiver Ronnie Daniels.
Then at 10 on ESPN2.
San Diego State's head coach Ted Tolman. He's an excellent football coach. They're a good team.
Tune in Thursday on ESPN when College Football Tonight begins at 7:30, followed by Wyoming versus Auburn at 8. Then at 10 on ESPN2, Arizona State versus San Diego State.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, beautiful shot of this Rose Bowl of racetracks, we call it, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil. And our Pennzoil copter cam hovering high above. We are told the attendance tonight, 152,000. Last night they had 115,000 for the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division event. And Jeff Bird says that with new seats coming in 2001, 2002, the seating capacity will be 165,000 as the fans continue to want to come to Bristol, and rightfully so. Our Napa Field summary rundown shows you that we do have 12 cars on the lead lap, and you see Bobby Labonte down in 14th spot. He is one lap down, and Dale Jarrett, second in points, is being shown in 7th spot right now on the lead lap.
Check out 16 through 30, Ned. We see David Green leads that group one lap down, all the way back through Mike Skinner, 24th spot, they're a lap down, and the rest of them 2 laps down.
And we take a look at the balance of the field and see the last 4 cars are out of the race. Matt Kenseth is off the track right now, apparently working on his car.
And it shows the 11th car being Robbie Gordon. He is subbing for Brett Bodine, who got a little overheated. It was in the infield care center, but it's doing fine. Well, the guys, we have less than 140 laps to go. The guy they've been chasing is this guy right here, Rusty Wallace, set for the green flag. Cannot get away from Mark Martin. There's about 3 car lengths, and Mark hasn't even his sights. Rusty has been the car to beat all night long, having led 181 laps in the 3 times he's been at the front of the field.
And what we have seen so far is Rusty Wallace's car is really, really good. The 88 car gets by the 8 car, moves into the 6th spot.
Going into turn 3. DJ had a run on the 8 car coming off of turn 2 and going into turn 3. They might have made a little bit of contact.
Well, there was contact a moment ago off of turn 2 with the 21 and the 20 car. And here's the 8 and the 88.
And I don't think Dale Jr. knew he was down there when they started into the corner, and I'm sure his spotter said, hey, he's there, and they made a little contact, and he moved out of the way.
Well, in poker, a pair of 8 speeds at 8 any day, so
yes.
They made the pass. 128 laps to go in Bristol. Glad to have you with us. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, got Bill Weber, Ray Dunlap, and John Kernan in the pit.
Dale Earnhardt just passed his driver, Steve Park, took over the 4th position.
And then we see 01 car, Ted Musgrave, trying to get by the 8 car. That was the battle for the 7th spot.
Boy, is there contact there. Dale Jr. was trying to get around Bobby Hamilton on the outside, but couldn't make that work. Now Ted Musgrave comes to the inside and he's going to take the position. Whoa! Boy, he's got to feel like a pool ball out there.
Who's the next candidate to hit the Budweiser car number 8? Let's see if David Cream can bounce off of Dale Jr. No, he lets him go. Here comes Jeff Burton in the 99 car.
94 was not the position, but that 99 is.
Oh, more contact with a 77 car.
The 77 car is a lap down. We talked earlier about it. He has gone a lap down. Boy, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is just, that train is going by on the inside.
That's been something I said. Ricky Rudd tapped him on the way by, and you see now Tony Stewart going by. And he will go all the way back to become almost the last car on the lead lap. Just got a couple guys left to go by. And that would be the 21 of Elliott Sadler.
Now, Dale Jr. can gain on rookie points since Matt Kenseth is off the track. And why is he off the track, Ray?
Well, Ned, it appears a water leak is the problem on the 17 car. They're looking at it. I'm on my way down there to find out if it is actually the water pump or whether it's coming out of the block. But the car got very, very hot, so Matt brought it behind the wall.
Matt Kenseth had a 29-point lead entering this race in the bestest rookie of the year standings over Earnhardt Jr. Dave Blaney was back in 3rd with Stacy Compton in 4th.
Kellogg's car is currently running in 19th position. He is a lap down, but they're really concerned about Labonte running a tough racetrack like Bristol after what he's been through, but I guess he's feeling fine, isn't he, Gary?
He really is, and I think the doctors he saw before he went to Michigan last week, and to update you folks that may not be up to speed on Terry Labonte's situation, he had an accident at Daytona in July, and then had a positional vertigo, it was diagnosed as. He would move and get very dizzy. He ran some laps at Pocono, but had to miss Indianapolis and Watkins-Glen because he got very dizzy. He went to a physician who had him do some exercises and help get some debris drained out of his inner ear, and once that was gone, he's been fine since then. But tonight, showing a lap down in 19th position for Terry Labonte. Riding along with our Parts Plus onboard camera, Jeff Burton, the X-Side Ford. That is fourth position. Burton is in 8th spot, and Ted Musgrave.
And the car up against the wall, Robert Preston.
Stay low, he's up against the wall.
Robert had been digging so hard with that Jasper car. He came from a lap down, got back on the lead lap, had been running the top 12, and now spins and makes contact to bring out caution number 10.
And I expect we'll see some pit stops here. They're going to have, when we go back to green, they'll have a little over 100 laps to go, probably 110 or something like that. And they can go that far on a set of tires okay. We'll see if the leaders do come in, but that would be my guess.
Remember Tony Stewart, Elliott Sadler, those two pitted. You heard Bill Weber and John Turner tell you a little bit earlier, those two pitted on the previous caution flag on lap 352. So about 33 laps to go, they pitted. We'll see if the leaders will come in. All right, here comes Earnhardt, headed to you, John Kernan.
And Dale Earnhardt will come into his pit stall. He'll be the first to hit here on the front stretch. It'll be a 4-tire change. Remember, they took a rubber out of the left front. Earnhardt said, let's leave everything else alone, see what we have. So just 4 tires and a little bit of fuel for Earnhardt. To Bill Weber. You look at the triple pitch. Rusty Wallace was not going to pit, but he saw in his rearview mirror other guys were. This team was already concerned with the fact that Earnhardt had pitted not that long ago. Rusty's getting 4 tires. He's going to be Earnhardt off of pit road, no chassis on the 2. Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, a lot of action here on the backstretch. Dale Jarrett has come in to get 4 tires. We also saw Jeff Burton and the 28 of Ricky Rudd in here. Jarrett in and out with a real quick pit stop, under 15 seconds.
And he's going to beat some of those cars that pitted on the front stretch, and he got credit for leading the last lap because when they dived into the pits, and here is Earnhardt back in the pits.
Back to you, John Kernan.
Earnhardt had a great pit stop, but there is a reason. They didn't get all the lug nuts tight on the left front, so now they're going to have to go put the lug nut on, tighten it up, and Earnhardt, who left the pits, I believe, right behind Rusty Wallace, is now probably going to be at the tail end of the lead lap cars.
Exactly, John. He came out right behind Rusty. They had a great pit stop, but maybe a little bit too quick. Let's go back over to the back pits and Ray.
Bobby Labonte, 1 lap down, now in the back stretch. These guys have figured out they can go the distance on tires now, and that might be the difference of getting them back on the lead lap. They went down 1 round on the track bar to try to make the car handle a little bit better in the center of the corner.
Wow, we'll sort out these pit stops here under caution number 10. When we come back for green flag racing action, we're closing in on 100 to go. How about that hat? Different colors of ESPN. Variety at Bristol.
Briefcase.
Need new tires? Our 70,000-mile Futuras are 4 for $169. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
Hey, Tim. Does this look like a hex nut to you?
Need expert advice? All-wheel alignment now just $34.88. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
I'm a child care director. In the summer, I drive buses and vans. We have a blast on these field trips. It's just as much fun for me as it is for them. Parents are entrusting me with the safety of their children. We have to make sure we keep great tires on the van. We trust Walmart to service our vehicles. They have name brand tires and they have great prices and are guaranteed nationwide. That's one reason we bought them.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
Our live coverage of ESPN exciting action from Bristol Motor Speedway is being brought to you by the NASCAR online store, where you'll find a great selection of official gear from all your favorite drivers. By Conseco. And by Pepsi, the joy of cola. Well, the safety cars turn the lights back on, so we'll have some more time under caution. We'll take a quick break and come back with green flag racing action at Bristol, Tennessee.
Whether you drive your family around the neighborhood or the number 21 Citgo Taurus around the NASCAR circuit, you make a lot of pit stops along the way. So from Darlington to Detroit, Bristol to Boston, and just about every place in between, you can count on your local Citgo to keep you going. Gas, food, and conversation. Just what you'd expect from a neighbor.
The Suzuki King Quad is the only all-terrain vehicle that has a 3-speed sub-transmission and locking front differential that allows you to transfer power equally to all 4 wheels to get you where you need to go. I'm coming!
I almost lost you there.
The King Quad from Suzuki.
Getting set for a restart at Bristol, Tennessee. Safety car pulls away. Tony Stewart, who did not pit, will lead it down. Stewart the leader, Rusty Wallace in second spot.
Third car in line is Kevin LePage. He's a couple left down.
Back in 25th spot is LePage. The third place car in the running order would be Mark Martin in car number 6. Then the 1. Good run for Steve Park in the Pennzoil Chevrolet. Dale Jarrett. Martin going beneath his Roush teammate, Kevin LePage.
And that battle between Ward Burton and Kenny Schrader was for position. That's for the 13th spot. These cars 1 lap down. Tony Stewart doing pretty well at Home Depot Pontiac.
Whoa! Heavy impact. Huge impact that in turns 1 and 2.
Robert Presley. Looks like the gas tank is full and looks like all that damage has pushed some gasoline out into the trunk area of the car.
And Robert climbing out of the car, fortunately able to get out, but he hit a ton. Car up across the racetrack. Good to see Robert get out, but wow. After having a great qualifying effort, his best of the year, and losing a lap, getting back on the lead lap, and Presley not a happy camper right there.
Now, look, the right rear tire is completely off the ground as he jumps in the, and let's go down to the gear center. Look at that right rear tire. All that under there is space.
So that means something is bent bad under
Something
there.
is badly bent, yes. Let's see if we can see what happens.
Well, he and Scott Pruitt go up the wall, up the banking together. Wally Dallenbach in the car number 75 also spins into Pruitt. And look at that car come down across the racetrack, burning.
Now from the Conseco onboard of Rick Mast. A little bit different angle now, looking down from above. Watch the flash now. He hits the wall and just erupts in flames. That kind of impact, Benny, and he can walk away. Here again.
And the gas tank is rubber. Looks like the whole car is just in flames, but I don't think any flames ever got inside the car. So the gas tank is a rubber piece, but, and there we see him throwing his helmet off and jumping out of the car.
Safety crews there very, very quickly here. They do a wonderful job at these NASCAR tracks there to put the fire out, the flames, but tough break for Robert Bristol. The same car he finished in the lead lap here in the spring where he had a 17th place finish, 15th in April back in Martinsville with this car. One of their better short track cars is now history.
And once again, the gas tank is made out of rubber. When it's fuel and you take anything made out of rubber that's full, when you squeeze it, the excess is going to come out the top, and that's what happened to the fuel tank here.
A rubber bladder filled with a sponge and now heavy damage, but the good news, Robert Presley is okay. 11th caution flag tonight, 100 laps to go.
Endless Summer RVs, the only family-owned and operated RV dealership in the area, invites you to visit our expanded showroom. Come in and see our enormous selection of new and used RVs. While you're here, take a walk through our newly remodeled parts and accessory store. We've also added service and free delivery bays for you, our customers. So stop by and visit with our friendly staff. Ask them questions. Many of them enjoy the outdoors just like you. We're located just 5 miles north of Frederick on Route 15. Camping families, serving families that camp.
When you need a new driveway or a driveway repaved, call Henson Paving, your local leader in paving. You've ridden on their work, you just might not have known it. Henson Paving can resurface your existing driveway or build one from the dirt up. All driveways are installed with the same care and attention to quality that we give our biggest contract jobs. When you need paving, think Henson Paving. When you need a driveway, there's only one place to call, Henson Paving. Look for us in the white pages. Henson Paving, making things go smoothly for over 30 years.
The AL wildcard race heats up. Tomei, Fryman, and the Indians. Vaughn, Erstad, and the Angels. The road trip rolls on. Indians, Angels, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
The Northern Light Cup is up for grabs as 8 drivers are within striking distance of first place. Who will claim the checkered flag in the IRL's inaugural race at Kentucky Speedway? The Kentucky Indy 300, tomorrow at 2:30 on ESPN.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
Nice looking jacket.
Special edition.
Leather.
Name your price, man.
Your hat.
Some people will give anything,
Hey, Jack,
to own the special edition NASCAR 2000 jacket. But it's yours for just $169 when you buy any Exide Select battery. And you'll be helping the kids at Duke Children's Hospital.
Hey, Jack, where's your hat?
Look for details wherever Exide Select is sold.
Nice hat.
Thanks.
Heat is holding position when your tires are ready to blow. Heat is making it through a 12-car pileup from 13th place. Heat is the last 5 laps of the Daytona 500.
If you want the heat of the last 5 laps all the time, if you want the heat of door-to-door, fender-to-fender action, if you want the heat of Daytona, if you want the game designed by the pros,
you want NASCAR Heat, the only game that brings the heat home.
NASCAR Heat for PlayStation game console and PC.
Back at Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol Motor Speedway working caution number 11, a frightening moment for Robert Presley. He was involved in an incident with Scott Pruitt up in turns 1 and 2. Presley's car backs in the wall. Heavy, heavy flames, but Robert able to walk away. Let's go down and talk with him.
Well, Robert, the fact that you're able to walk away from a hit like that just shows how great these race cars are built.
I tell you, we took a pretty good hit, but just went off in the corner there, and I don't know what happened. Thing went around faster, I know. Just everybody out there just knocking everybody around, so just a typical Bristol.
Well, glad to see you're okay. That's the story of Bristol. Lots of beating and banging.
Robert able to walk away. That fire suit, and as Benny Parsons mentioned, that fuel cell is a rubber bladder with a sponge inside. So although some fuel was squeezed out when the car hit the wall, the majority of them stayed in the fuel cell, and they were able to put it out very quickly, and Robert none the worse for wear.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes. Now coming up at the conclusion of tonight's live action from Bristol Sports Center coming up, Trey Wingo and John Anderson. How about Tiger Cruising at NEC? Bill Mickelson in the field trying to stay close. BYU, Florida State. How about the defending national champion Seminoles? And a quarterback shuffle. The Steelers, Dolphins, and Chargers all made decisions on who their starting quarterback will be to start the season next Sunday. All that and more coming up on Sports Center next at the conclusion of this GoRacing.com 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway. We work caution. Less than 100 to go. Tony Stewart shows the way. Wallace, Martin, Park, and Jarrett in the top 5.
The measure of your hunting success comes down to performance. And the gear you use can make all the difference. Yeah. The Redhead Hunting Catalog by Bass Pro Shops is packed with thousands of hunting and outdoor products to give you the edge. Call 1-800-BASS-PRO now for your free catalog. And log on to BassPro.com for instant access to the same great gear. Redhead, an outdoor tradition since 1856. Call 1-800-BASS-PRO now.
To Sonic to try the homemade taste of a banana, coconut, or new chocolate cream pie shake, all swirled with bits of graham cracker crust and topped with real whipped cream. Pair one now with a Sonic burger for a special low price. Sonic, your summer flavor place.
What would it be worth to wake up in a great mood?
I'm in a great mood!
Because you had a good night's sleep.
I slept like a baby!
In a nice, comfortable room.
What a room, yeah!
How about 10% off?
Hey, I like that 10%!
With Super 8's VIP card, it's yours, guaranteed.
VIP, that's me!
At over 1,900 locations. Clean, friendly Super 8.
Clean, friendly, yeah!
Super 8, all the room you want.
Yeah!
Celebrating by Team Monte Carlo.
Now, the first thing you've got to do is jump up here and scream and yell, woo! Make sure your hat guy forms them first, so you don't end up looking like a dork. Now, when somebody hands you one of these babies, make sure you say thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man, don't eat the check.
Want to be like Jeff Gordon? Drive the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Hey, Mr. Tool Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes, you know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Quaker State at Pep Boys.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, still working the caution flag as the cleanup continues. It has now been completed over in turns 1 and 2. Safety car has Tony Stewart in tow. Tony is our leader. Stewart has led 3 times for 131 laps. Rusty Wallace has led the most, 198 laps. There have been 12 different leaders, 16 lead changes. Wondering about our points race. Dale Jarrett is 5th right now on the lead lap. And the points leader, Bobby Labonte, 16th, showing a lap down.
Started broadcasting races here. There were perhaps maybe...
Dale Earnhardt just made another pit stop a lap ago. He was already in 12th place. He didn't have anything to lose. There are 12 cars on the lead lap, so he came in and put on 4 more tires. I'm sure part of the consideration was there was a lot of debris over there during that wreck, and they had to run through it, so why take a chance? Once they got the track cleaned off, they came in and put on 4 new tires.
Well, Tony Stewart, a 3-time winner this year already at Dover, Michigan, and New Hampshire, has not won since New Hampshire. Trying to get his first win in Bristol, Tennessee. They double up and get set for the restart here.
Tony Stewart has about 33 laps more on his tires than does Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Steve Park, Dale Jarrett, all these other cars, but he seems to be running pretty well. Maybe he's found a set of tires that his car likes, and He's decided to stick with them for a while.
Restart lap 411. Caution out for a total of 13 laps.
Kevin LePage on the inside, and Warren Burton trying to get a lap back, and here comes Rusty Wallace. This is for the lead.
And Rusty will make it look easy coming out of turn 4. Mark Martin is there on the inside. Make Martin make a move. Yes, he gets to the inside of Tony. Here comes Stewart rattling back.
Well, there's 33 laps difference on those tires not be showing up here early, Jamie.
And Steve Park goes by, trying to get on the inside of Tony Stewart. Can't do it, so Stewart will fall back into the third spot.
Wallace and Martin both go by. Stewart will try to hang on. Dale Jarrett looks to the inside for position. He falls back in line. Protects the spot.
Meanwhile, Elliott Sadler trying to look on the inside of Dale Jarrett.
Elliott Sadler's best finish this year has been 12th at Darlington. His best run ever at Bristol, Tennessee. And here's the car number 99. The Parts Plus onboard camera for Jeff Burton.
Trying to pass Ricky Rudd on the outside, but let's see if that's going to work. Now Rudd gives him the room. Said, okay, if you can do it up there, you go right ahead. But I don't think it's going to work.
Now to lose a spot is Sterling Marlin in the Coors Light car. Tries to get down on the elbows of contact between Dale Jr. and Musgrave. And Musgrave goes around and no, caution flag. Oh, no.
But he's still sitting down. He's off the racetrack. But
No caution.
Oh,
now there'll be a caution, maybe. Yeah, there will be now.
David Green's impact there in the McDonald's Ford. Will produce the caution flag at turns 3 and 4 for the 12th time tonight. Coming out on lap 418.
Meanwhile, Kevin LePage, the 16 and the 22, were able to get a lap back. The 22 now is in the lead lap, and LePage, how many laps was he down?
He was down 2 laps, so he got one of those back.
One of those back. Now, tough break from Musgrave.
Show you again that some of the incidents here involving this 12th caution flag tonight. Watch the top of your screen. Musgrave, the 01, the 8 of Earnhardt Jr.
Going a corner in there. Earnhardt's on the inside. They touch. And around goes Musgrave. And Earnhardt Jr. just barely squeezes by. And Dale Earnhardt in a 3 car goes by on the outside. Musgrave did, in fact, lose a lap.
Different angle looking on the inside. Musgrave hangs on. The car doesn't go up across the racetrack. As you mentioned, Earnhardt avoids it. So does Bobby Labonte. But unfortunately, after a great run, Musgrave will lose a lap from Bobby Labonte's on board.
Well, he's seen a lot of this tonight. But he's able to get through this one. He's been in some close scrapes, Bobby Labonte has.
Now David Green.
Car snapped around like there might have been contact, but I don't know who it might have been.
That was down in turn 4 that David Green spun around in the McDonald's Ford.
Now this is a picture there. We'll see Musgrave go up to
Little disagreement there about what happened. Obviously some tempers. One driver said earlier tonight, I'm mad when I get in the car. They haven't even cranked it up yet. Just getting ready to get mad tonight. So it happens in a hurry at Bristol, Tennessee. Tough break for Ted Musgrave. A great run he had going in that car number 01. Well, the latest caution flag. The McDonald's car gets sideways and tags the wall in turn 4. Back in a moment.
Painting the house, boys. Need one of you to help. Have you?
I'll tell you what, Kev. How about you help Dad paint the house this time? And I'll paint it every time after.
Really? All right, dude.
Behr Premium Plus comes with a lifetime guarantee. So once you're done painting, you're done painting.
Sucker.
Behr Premium Plus. Buy it at the Home Depot.
Back in Bristol, Tennessee, we have less than 80 laps to go. And what a crowd on hand. Beautiful night here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of eastern Tennessee. John Kernan. Sterling Marlin was in, took on 4 tires, a major wedge adjustment on the left rear. Also, Dale Earnhardt came in to take on 4 tires. As we go back to green, now to Ray Dunlap.
Well, John, I told you earlier they were having a problem with the 17 overheating. They came in and changed the radiator, and as they fired the engine up, the radiator cap blew off, and crew member Phil Dyer, who changes the front tires, got a little bit of a burn on his face, so they took him to the medical center. They say they think he's going to be okay. Kenseth is back behind the wall.
All right, thank you, guys. Back under green flag, Rusty Wallace showing the way. There's Tony Stewart. Back in second spot. The 4 car of Bobby Hamilton is being shown 2 laps down in 24th position.
Now remember, he made a green flag pit stop way back 100 or so laps, and then the caution came out after that, and so that's how he got his 2 laps down. He's had a good race car all night long.
He's hanging right with Rusty Wallace. It's a shame he's 2 laps down, but he's got a great machine under him.
He's trying his best to get one of those back.
And Rusty the leader, Stewart in second spot. Give a call to Steve Park, who's being shown in 3rd position in the car number 1.
Martin just went around him, as you were saying that, Jerry.
Like I said, Steve Park just lost the position to Mark Martin. Tough break for Steve, and Dale Jarrett now right in behind Steve Park for the 5th spot. Sadler in the Citgo Ford, being shown in 6th position.
I'm watching Elliott Sadler right now, and folks, Elliott is feeling it. He's on the back bumper of the defending NASCAR Winston Cup champion. Sometimes closes up right on the back bumper, just like that right there. He says, I can do this. I can beat these guys.
Yes, sir. DJ's car seems to be pushing up a little bit in the center of the corner.
Down in 3 and 4 the last time, he just looked like it almost stopped as the 21 car closed rapidly, right, just like that. He's really having trouble down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's where it's pushing up the most on him.
Elliott Sadler, his 58th career start. His first start coming back in May of '98 at Charlotte. No poles, no wins, but he'd love to have one here in Bristol, Tennessee tonight.
He'd love to have a top 5, Jerry. That would be a major victory for him to get a top 5. Certainly win if he's better, but
Eddie's got a career best in line here. His career best have been 10th in Texas back last year. Good action here. 99 car, Jeff Burton making a move.
So Earnhardt was making a move on the 99 car, Jerry. He just took the 11th spot away, and now he's about to take the 10th spot away from the 22.
Now remember, Earnhardt came in, got fresh tires there not long ago. Seems to be helping him.
Goes by the older of the 2 Burton brothers, Ward Burton. And Ray, what about the car number 99 of Jeff Burton?
Well, Jerry, on that very last round of pit stops there on lap 419, the 99 came to the pits and they put 4 tires on it and made a very small adjustment on the track bar. So I expect the 99 with those fresher tires is going to make a bunch of moves here. He's still on the lead lap. What's he in 9th place now?
Goes by his brother Ward. Here's Terry Labonte in the car number 5. Terry's being shown in the 16th spot, a lap down. Right along with our Husqvarna onboard camera, our Jimmy Dean telemetry. Ward Burton's car. Sterling Marlin trying to hold off Earnhardt.
Remember, Marlin came in the pits during that last caution as well.
And here's Earnhardt goes by, tries to go by on the outside. He thought that he had Sterling Marlin hung up behind the slope car, but here's Earnhardt on the inside.
Wow, left wheels all the way down below the yellow line. Breaks the pace.
Guys, did we see Earnhardt make a late race charge here before?
How about last year?
That was it, yeah. Here it goes. Dale Earnhardt, a 9-time winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Fresh tires, and the next candidate for the Earnhardt Pass is our points leader, Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte is in 15th position.
Just 10 cars on the lead lap. Earnhardt is in 9th spot. There's the 40 car right behind him in 10th. Sterling Marlin.
Almost some contact there between the 99 and the 18. Jeff Burton had an idea of going on the inside of the 18 off the corner, and I don't think the 18 realized that was going to happen.
I said 10 cars in the lead lap. I meant 12 cars in the lead lap for the 99 and 22. Both the Burton brothers are 11th and 12th. They are on the lead lap. Just a reminder, Sports Center coming up at the conclusion of our coverage. Ray Wingo, John Anderson, talking about Tiger Woods cruising today. How about BYU and Florida State? And updates on what's happening and what happened here at Bristol, Tennessee. That's all coming up next. Sports Center. Back with more green flag action in just a moment.
Once Winn-Dixie race car driver Mark Martin puts the hammer down, it's pretty hard to get him to stop.
Mark, you're low on fuel. What's up, Jack?
Now, dang it, listen up.
I can't believe you guys are doing this to me.
Trying to keep you hungry, man.
10 more laps.
WD brand steak from the beef people. Please join us in saluting Mark Martin in his Busch Series farewell tour.
Guess you're going to have to stay hungry.
Aloha, sports fans. You're looking live at the Garage Invitational as Stoney steps to the green. Swing!
Oh, it's a nice swing there, Alice.
Yeah, does your husband play?
Consolation prize. Thank you so much.
I'm going to shoot lefty, guys.
But you can't hit right.
Oh, this will be funny.
Come on, Mrs. Groundskeeper's going to be coming home soon. We got to get out of here.
All right.
Easy, guys. Give me the club.
Rain delay, Ice House style. Because sometimes all you need is a smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House. Enjoy.
In a race car like mine, the oil tank is right behind the seat. When the oil gets hot, you know about it. In California, the oil temp gauge was pegged at 340 degrees. Normal's around 220. Heat's coming off the oil tank behind the seat, burning your back. Man, you wonder if you're even going to make it to the finish. But Mobil 1 never gave up. Other oils, they might have cooked. Instead, what got cooked was me. I love winning, but doing it this way, man, I tell you, like my crew chief said on the radio, we owe this one to Mobil 1.
Laps are winding down here in Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol Motor Speedway, the GoRacing.com 500, presented by SkyTel. Rusty Wallace, our leader. Tony Stewart, top of your screen. That's the Home Depot Pontiac in second spot. Mark Martin is third. Steve Park fourth. And Dale Jarrett, his car starting to get better and better here in the late stages.
DJ almost brushes the wall as he comes off turn 4, but he is closing in now on the 1 car, Steve Park.
He's pulled away from the 21 car. As a matter of fact, he's gained about a half a second on Rusty Wallace in the last 6 or 7 laps.
DJ has 1 win at Bristol. It came in this exact same race car in the fall of 1997, 3 years ago. Here's Ted Musgrave trying to get back some of those spots he lost a little while ago with that contact at turn 1. Now, these cars are a lap down, the 16, the 01, and the 43, back in 18th, 19th, and 20th position.
And here's Dale Earnhardt going by his son to take over the 8th position.
All right, here comes Sterling Marlin's in a good car. Now, he has caught this group. The 36 car of Kenny Schrader is a lap down, although he's in 13th spot. Good run for Schrader in the M&M's Pontiac. He's the first car a lap down.
Oh, contact, and around goes Junior.
Stay high, you got it cleared.
Bobby Labonte comes by.
No caution yet, no caution yet.
Yeah, caution is out. Yep.
Now it will come out for the 13th time tonight. Dale Earnhardt Jr. spin.
And
whoa,
no. Bobby Hamilton, I guess, was trying to race Rusty Wallace back to the line to get a lap back, and somehow has made contact with the 12 car of Jeremy Mayfield.
So heavy damage on a Kodak Chevy, which was one of the better cars on the racetrack, and now a cut left front tire for Earnhardt Jr. trying to get this car on the pit road.
Both west side tires are flat. It appears, I don't know how they're going to get the jack onto the left side. That could be a problem. And the right rear is also flat.
And there's the 4 cars, Bobby Hamilton, all mangled up. And I think you're right, Benny. I think he was just trying to get a lap back. And apparently there were cars in the way.
And from the Pennzoil Copter Cam, the leaders are on pit road. Rusty Wallace is down. Let's go down to John Kernan first.
And it'll be
be a 4-tire change for Tony Stewart. He said if Rusty comes in, we have to come in too. Right side's already down to Bill Weber and Rusty's pit. You look at the triple pit, the 2, the 20, the 6. Left side's going out for Rusty Wallace. The 22 is coming down pit road. Waiting on the left rear. Now Rusty zooms down and away. He's got the 20, the 3, and the 6 in a drag race. Lots of traffic in the end of pit road. The Kernan. I think Ward Burton may have only taken right side tires because he came off of pit road before the 20 car did the Ray Bennett Dunlap.
John, absolutely no chassis change to Dale Jarrett, but he does get 4 tires. We also see the 99 and the 28 coming in here. We're having a good day for our guys on the backstretch. Expect Bobby Labonte to come in and also get tires. He is a lap down.
Don't look like that's such a good time for your guys back there this time, Ray. Looks like DJ's going to lose 3 or 4 spots. Where was he running? He was running about 5th, wasn't he, Ned?
He was running 5th position.
And now he goes back to 9th.
All right, show you what happened here to begin this caution flag. Watch the contact. Schrader, the 36, Earnhardt Jr. in the 8.
Earnhardt Jr.'s car got loose coming off of the corner, and I'm sure he had to check up to try to get it straightened out.
That happened out in turn 1.
You're right, Ned. As he exited turn 4, the 8 car got a little bit loose, and you're right, he had to squeeze out the throttle. Right there. Right there, you see him getting loose, and when he squeezed out, there was the contact between Schrader and Junior.
All right, another incident. An incident involving the 4 car trying to get back one of his laps. Here comes Hamilton. There's the 12 car of Mayfield, and boom. Tough night for Bobby Hamilton. Let's talk to him, Bill Weber.
And he's made it back here to the garage to his rig. I can tell by your walk you're not very happy. What happened, Bobby?
Oh, I'm okay. I hated I run over Jeremy, but it's just so fast here. It was open. He said, go try to get your lap back. Rusty told me if I didn't try to pass me, let me have a lap back. He slowed down. I went after him. Jeremy moved up, so I run plumb over him.
Trying to get your lap back. It's a tough thing to do, isn't it?
Well, it is, especially we didn't have no business being a lap down, but we cut a tire down, hit some debris on the racetrack.
Your car was good.
Yeah, it was real good, but we're happy. We're turning this thing around, make Kodak happy, and make me happy, too. Things have been going good the last 2 or 3 weeks, so we'll keep digging.
Okay, thanks for stopping.
Boy, what a job they did tonight. Danny Gill and Bobby Hamilton. Although they had lost a lap early with a pit stop, they had one of the best race cars on the racetrack. Here's the incident that brought out the caution flag for the 13th time. Earnhardt Jr. spins in turn 1.
In a race car like mine, the oil tank is right behind the seat. When the oil gets hot, you know about it. In California, the oil temp gauge was pegged at 340 degrees. Normal's around 220. Heat's coming off the oil tank behind the seat, burning your back. Man, you wonder if you're even going to make it to the finish. But Mobil 1 never gave up. Other oils, they might have cooked. Instead, what got cooked was me. I love winning, but doing it this way, man, I tell you, like my crew chief said on the radio, we owe this one to Mobil 1.
Gentlemen, a moment of silence in honor of Bob. Bob, a good friend, a good man, whose time had come. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
First, get a designated driver. Next, grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Excuse me, our car broke down. Can anyone give us a ride home?
Back later, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Bye, Bob.
Our Coke pit summary back at Bristol shows Dale Jarrett lost 4 spots. Steve Park lost 3 on that exchange of pit stops. Dale Jarrett did not need that caution flag.
Well, his car hasn't been that good on new tires, and then to lose that many. He made 15.5-second pit stops, but still lost 4 positions.
All right, now the 22 car, Ward Burton, the Caterpillar car, he's the lead of the race. He changed 2 tires on that last stop, trying to get that track position, and it worked. So now he's trying his best to get by the 14 car, the Castico car, Rick Mast. And now he's got trouble on his back bumper, Rusty Wallace. Ooh, Rusty backs off, cuts him a break.
Well, I'll back up and get a run at him again here, maybe coming off of turn 2. Ward Burton, only 2 right side tires. And that's the pit stop on 453.
Oh, here's Rusty. doesn't mean he can pass.
All right, what about that two-tire stop, John Kernan?
Jerry, I talked to his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin. He said, hey, you got to take a chance sometimes. And this afternoon, I was talking with Ward, and Ward said, you know, a lot of drivers don't like coming to this racetrack. He said, I love coming here to Bristol. I love to drive this racetrack. And even though Rusty's getting around him right now, he's still headed possibly for a top 5 finish. When I talked to him this afternoon, that was what he wanted to do.
Well, he gets passed by Rusty Wallace now for second spot, but he's hanging on. Tony Stewart still a couple of cars back.
One problem with Tony Stewart, Martin Dale Earnhardt, a couple of problems they have is the 31 car and the 36 are racing for position. Talking about Schrader, the 36, and the 31 of Skinner, they're battling for the 13th position, so they can't just kind of get out of these guys' way because it's not to their benefit.
And you can't run 3 wide, not very successfully here. So now Tony Stewart does get up above the 31 car of Skinner. And Ward Burton now pulls up, and so as Stewart and Skinner have a little bit of rubbing action.
And you're the 6 car. Goes by gets on the inside of 20 trying to take the spot away. Can't quite do it. Meanwhile, Earnhardt is on the apron trying to get by the 6. And here comes that Elliott Sadler again.
33 laps to go, and it's going to come down to who can get by who. If they got a shot to catch Rusty Wallace pulling away by a straightaway here. There is Tony Stewart, the second place car, or third place car, I should say. Skinner able to go by Ward Burton. Now Benny Stewart may have a shot.
He does. He takes over that second spot. Here comes Mark Martin. Is he up far enough? Not quite now he is.
Side by side for third position. Martin will make the move. Ward Burton up high. It opens the door for not only Martin to go by, but Earnhardt. Here comes Elliott Sadler.
Well, those 2 tires just aren't working for Ward Burton. Running good track position, but it's going to be hard to keep it.
Now look back at Elliott Sadler, the Sitco Ford. Elliott trying to work on the inside of Ward Burton. 4th position for 5th spot.
Boy, there's a train right behind him. There's Steve Park, and then Sterling Marlin, then Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett, all right there just waiting to pounce if they get up there and get an opportunity. Well, I tell you, if something happens to one of those in front of that, they'll be dodging, not pouncing.
Sterling Marlin able to go by, as is Jeff Burton, the car number 99. There's Dale Jarrett. Bobby Labonte right behind Jarrett, although Labonte is showing a lap down in 15th position. Jarrett now being shown. He goes by the 22 car in the 9th spot.
Because Rusty Wallace has said, see to Tony Stewart. You saw Tony having all that trouble getting by the lap cars. He now is about 2 1/4 seconds behind.
And how about Ricky Rudd, car number 28? Ricky started way back in the back of the pack in 37th position. Now on the lead lap, or stayed on the lead lap, and being shown in 10th spot.
Yeah, he's one of those that lost out on that lane. He's hitting on the backstretch, and he was running in about 7th position, but got had to pit on the backstretch, lost a lot of positions, trying to come back.
Now Jeff Burton has made a pass on Sterling Marlin for position. Look back on our Parts Plus bumper cam back at Sterling. Jeff Burton now taking over the 7th spot, puts Sterling back to 8th. Dale Jarrett right on Sterling's bumper, 4th position. DJ's in 9th, and Rudd is 10th.
And Steve Park, the 1 car, is all over the back bumper of Elliott Sadler off turn 4. Just a half lap later, now they're back in 4 again.
Elliott Sadler's best career finish, a 10th at Texas back in the spring of '99. in line to have his best ever Winston Cup finish here tonight. If he can hang on, he is currently in 5th position.
But it looks like he might lose that. The one car just got on the inside of the 21 as you watch this battle back in the pack. As Garrett tries to get around Sterling Marlin, but there Steve Hart goes around, and everything happening at once here. Now Jeff Burton gets on the inside of Elliott Sadler.
Sadler will slide back 2 spots. The 7th spot. Folks, 18 laps, and at 15 seconds a lap, it's about 5 minutes of action left at Bristol, Tennessee, in the 40th running of the Goracing.com 500. Well, where is Rusty?
He's gone.
Abington, maybe? No, there he is. Rusty Wallace. 261 laps he has led in what you might call a dominating performance, which he has done before here in wins at Bristol, Tennessee.
So Rusty Wallace will walk off with the $10,000 from the Gatorade Company for leading the most laps at Bristol this evening. Well, it's not over. We keep talking about that last half mile. Be sure and watch the last half mile.
Got a little bit exciting here last year in those last 3 laps. As Rusty Wallace in the Miller Lite Ford Taurus. There is Tony Stewart in 2nd spot. Mark Martin 3rd. Earnhardt is 4th.
Tony Stewart is closing up the gap rapidly on Rusty Wallace, but we still got a 2nd and 3/4 deficit to make up.
But Rusty's going to have a lot of traffic right in front of him in about 2 laps. A lot of traffic, a whole group of cars.
Well, here's a battle that's been really going on. DJ's been trying to get around the 40, and Ricky Rudd has caught him. Now he's trying to get around DJ.
And here's our leader now trying to get by Rick Maston. Right in front of Rick, there's a lot of cars running right together. Rusty will have to negotiate this traffic, and depends on if he gets through and Tony Stewart can get through. Because you see Tony now, you can see him starting to reel Rusty in, but will he have enough time? 11 laps to go in Bristol, Tennessee.
A 2.5 second deficit for Tony Stewart. We see him back there. The 3rd car back is our 2nd place car of Tony Stewart. Oh.
Gary Nadeau up across the racetrack right in front of the leader. A little brush with the concrete there. Already had some damage on the left front of that car. MichaelHolligan.com Chevy out of the Rick Hendrick stable. He heads for pit road. And moments ago, a pair of Yates teammates had a little bit of contact.
Going into turn 3, Ricky got on the inside of DJ. DJ came down there a little bit, and they went side by side, and Ricky had to back off. DJ held on to the position.
Well, Rusty Wallace 8 laps away from taking the checkered flag for his 4th win of the season.
But there's Tony Stewart. He's just 3/4 of a second behind Rusty Wallace, and still traffic in front of Rusty. They're talking about the two-tire stop. Look, Ward Burton about to go a lap down.
Yes, sir. That just simply did not work. He wishes, man, I wish I would have given up that track position and got me 4 tires.
Well, you can visibly see now the margin shrinking as Tony Stewart will have to negotiate these cars. Rusty now in clear racetrack. If Stewart can get by, and there's Ward Burton right in front of him. He has to back out.
Ward moves up the racetrack and lets him go.
5 laps to go. Lap traffic really hurt Tony Stewart. Oh, he dropped off some 2 miles an hour, having a jam on the brakes there a moment ago. Now tries to reel in Rusty Wallace. But he may run out of time. Rusty Wallace, a week ago at Michigan, picked up his 52nd career win, putting him all alone as the 8th winningest driver in NASCAR. He is 2 laps away from win number 53. set on the pole to begin the night with a new event qualifying record, a brand new car that Robin Pemberton and the Penske South crew built and brought to Bristol. Final lap for Rusty Wallace, 44 years of age. Comes up on the rear, the lap car of Jeff Gordon, and the checkered flag will wave for Rusty Wallace. He takes his 4th win of the season, his 53rd career victory, and his 9th win at Bristol Motor Speedway. There's Rusty waving to the crowd. Let's check in his pits with his crew chief, Robin Pemberton.
Robin, you guys came here with a new car after winning in the spring. You won the pole 8 times the charm. You finally won one of these from the pole.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I'll tell you what, the guys on pit road did a great job, and if I forgot to say it before, the engine company, man, I'll tell you what, they built some horsepower, good qualifying engines. They've done a great job, and it was a good night. I'll tell you, track position meant a lot, and a good team effort.
Did you get a little nervous back here whenever Rusty almost got hung up behind Jerry Nadeau and Tony was catching him?
If you didn't get nervous, you didn't have a nerve in your body, I'll tell you what. But did a good job. Traffic was a little tough tonight, but appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, congratulations. Robin Pemberton headed to victory lane.
And Rusty Wallace pays tribute to his fallen friend Alan Kulwicki with this reverse victory lap. Alan, who lost his life here in Bristol, Tennessee in the spring of 1993. And Rusty says, when I win, I will always remember Alan. And these 140,000 fans salute Rusty Wallace. Back in a moment.
At Gene Latta Ford, it's easy to see that we're Southern PA and Northern Maryland's truck headquarters.
If you want a sporty, easy-to-handle truck, we've got it. Or if you need something tough and rugged, you'll find it here, too. Choose from over 100 trucks in stock. No one sells trucks with bigger savings and better service than Gene Latta Ford Buick.
Completely satisfied customers are our trademark.
We guarantee it.
Comcast Advertising Sales has become the #1 cable advertising sales organization in the area. And to continue our growth and success, we are seeking to fill important positions. Comcast Advertising Sales is currently hiring account executives in your area. If you have 2 or more years' experience in media sales and would like to be considered for this unique opportunity, please contact Barb Motishka at 717-264-6425. Comcast Advertising Sales, targeting with precision.
From its crude beginning in the 1800s to the orchestrated hysteria of the sold-out bowl of the 90s.
You run into each other, you're hitting, you're smearing guys.
Meet the great players and the legendary coaches as the History Channel looks at the hard-hitting history of college football.
Hi, I'm Chris Fowler. Join me for a History Channel special, Gridiron Generals.
Gridiron Generals. Monday, August 28th at 9 p.m. on the History Channel.
From the leader in ride control technology comes the latest in a long line of innovations. Introducing Monroe's revolutionary new Reflex Shock with impact sensor technology that reacts instantly, shifting between firm and soft compression in just 12 milliseconds. Combining superior comfort with a dramatic reduction in pitch and roll for maximum safety. Experience the new standard in comfort and control with the new Reflex Shock from Monroe.
And the celebration continues at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 40th running of the Goracing.com 500 is history, and Rusty Wallace, what a dominating performance. Let's go down to victory lane. Here's Bill Weber.
Rusty Wallace with the Bristol sweep. You won them both, and you had another great car here, your 9th career win at this track. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a complete team effort, no doubt about that. We had a great car, a good engine, and pit stops were fabulous all night long. And everybody was here. We had John Bowen, our CEO of Miller. We had Roger Penske and my whole family and all the car dealership people. Really cool night, but above all, my hats off to my entire team. We had a great hot rod tonight, and this Harley-Davidson Miller Lite car just really rumbled all night long.
And Dave Kenny, your spotter, helped you on that one pit stop when it looked like you were going to stay out, but a lot of other guys were coming in.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, he said, they're coming. I just dove off real quick. And I think that was a real key move right there. A lot of close calls in the front straightaway there when a couple lap cars kind of got tangled up and I had to make an evasive maneuver. And then when the 4-car climbed the wall there, he was trying to get his lap back, and boy, I'll tell you what, all heck broke loose there. But, you know, we had we've been having a wonderful year. 8 poles and 4 wins and all these laps led. I just can't thank all my sponsors enough. Miller, me, Mobile, who we got here, Action, Premier Cruise Lines, Harley, Beef Jerky, Sea Ray Boats, Haribo, all of them. Great people, man. Just really fun time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back upstairs.
Dominating performance, Rusty Wallace. Take a look at the points. 11 events now remain, so they head for the stage in New York. And some position changes. Mark Martin gains a spot. Ward Burton loses a spot. And the interval now, Dale Jarrett up to 91 points. It was 111 coming into the night. We'll have more from Bristol in just a moment.
Kenny's birthday's coming up. Oh, he's going to love this. Cool. Check this out.
All the merchandise, all the time. The NASCAR online store at NASCAR.com. It's official.
Happy birthday to you.
One more from your brother.
Every single year.
Register at NASCARstore.com for your chance to win a ride in the Winston Cup Pace Car on October 22nd.
So that's your new car, the Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
So you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protector.
And I'm really pre-approved?
That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
From the quarter mile at St. Louis to the third turn at Talladega to the pits of Laguna Seca. Wherever innovation is the margin between win and lose, the pros reach for the same tools you do. Craftsman, the official tools of CART, NHRA, and NASCAR.
In a race car like mine, the oil tank is right behind the seat. When the oil gets hot, you know about it. In California, the oil temp gauge was pegged at 340 degrees. Normal's around 220. Heat's coming off the oil tank behind the seat, burning your back. Man, you wonder if you're even going to make it to the finish. But Mobil 1 never gave up. Other oils, they might have cooked. Instead, what got cooked was me. I love winning, but doing it this way, man, I tell you, like my crew chief said on the radio, we owe this one to Mobil 1.
Our live coverage of the Goracing.com 500 presented by SkyTel has been brought to you by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By America's #1 choice in tools, Craftsman makes anything possible. And by Mobil 1, nothing outperforms Mobil 1. We mentioned Bobby Labonte was having some cramps in the race and was not feeling real well. We are being told he is getting some medical attention. Let's check in down on his pits where Ray is standing by with crew chief Jimmy Maycar. Ray?
Well, Jimmy, 15th tonight. I know that's not as good as you'd like to have had, but all in all, a pretty good day for a track like Bristol.
Well, you know, consider what happened to us here. You know, it wasn't that bad. We didn't have a car capable of winning tonight, and struggled all day with it, trying to get it just right. But we worked real hard and got the car capable of running, you know, 5th through 10th, I think, the way things were worked out. And, you know, we got hit from behind over there, slowing up for a spin in front of us by somebody and spun us around, and the leader just got by us. It didn't hurt the car any, but, you know, got a lap down. That's hard to come back from.
Okay, if these guys hold on to win this championship, this will be a night they remember. John Kernan?
And a great night for Bobby's teammate, Tony Stewart, a second-place, hard-fought second-place finish.
Yeah, we had a great car all night. We got in a segment after the halfway point where we couldn't make our car turn, so you know, I don't know what happened, but the guys kept working on it and kept making changes, and you know, we got a little track position there late and had a really good car. It seemed like the first 20 laps our car wouldn't turn in a 40-acre field, but after the first 20 laps it really started coming on, so I'm really proud of our guys, and our Pontiac was just good all night.
Second place for Tony Stewart, back upstairs.
Our unofficial results show that Rusty Wallace, the winner. Tony Stewart finished in second spot. Mark Martin third, as we had 10 cars finish on the lead lap. Dale Jarrett finishes ninth, And you see Bobby Labonte back in 15th, 1 lap down.
Checking out 16 through 30. Terry Labonte leads that group. Jeff Gordon will finish 1 lap down on 7 cylinders. Jimmy Spencer leads the group 2 laps down.
And here is the balance of the cars. You see a lot of them were out. Not a good day for all these cars on this page.
Well, ESPN have been coming to Bristol, Tennessee for over 2 decades, and we can honestly say this track and this community truly mirrors the explosive growth not only of ESPN, but of NASCAR racing in general. Thank you to all the wonderful folks who have been a part of this growth over the years. The consummate Tennessee gentleman, Larry Carrier, and of course, businessman and showman extraordinaire, old Bruce Smith, who took this place and built it to what it is today. When the night began, it was a special night for Daryl Waltrip, but it was an eventful night and an emotional night as he bid farewell to Tennessee. For Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, Bill Weber, John Kernan, and Ray Dunlap, I'm Jerry Punch, once again congratulating Rusty Wallace on his dominating win here in the 40th edition of the GoRacing.com 500. Remember, Sports Center coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. And now for the final time in the foreseeable future, so long from Thunder Valley.